we got 3 phones here. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all exclusive access to how we set this mug up. This is the most redneck jury rigged podcast / we're going to call this a multi-stream. Let's make sure we're going to everybody. Whoa, what did this happen there? Let's see if I can enable Instagram. All right, so if I'm not able to answer your comments on here, I've had issues with apps being able to actually even see comments from Facebook. So if you're in here, share this out, help bring more in with us, and help us get this out there. We're going to have a lot of preparedness news, I like to call it, reasons to prepare. And here's a good way to prepare. Our sponsor, ReadyWise, and Edge29ChaosPreparedness.com. You can go there and check us out. If you're watching through one of our Facebook accounts that are linked here, all right. So we're glad to have you here, and we hope you stay for the whole chat. We're fixing to start Clapper up. Oh Lord, this is a process. We're going to have Haps here, TikTok here, and Clapper there. So,
sorry, since you're at my home, can I just get your name and your badge number, please?
It's a Clapper video. Go check Clapper out if you ain't got it. We got that. But yeah, it's a good app. And I gotta put in the Cast29. I don't know if they're stream 2/12/22. All right. So we're going to start that, and we're going to start sharing everything out. So as we do this, I think I'll probably upload on Haps every time. So you can join us through YouTube. You can join us through the Facebook. Share this out. Get your friends involved in this. I want you to be able to add to it. Now, if you're not able to comment here, you can go to TikTok or you can go to Clapper and comment there. If I don't see it here right now, I will answer your comment later on in the cast. So we'll be glad to have any of y'all that want to come in and ask questions about preparedness, places you go to find gear, ways you can make the gear you have work. Anything to that nature, we will be addressing. So we're going live on Clapper. We don't got anybody in yet, but we are working on it. We're sharing it out across Clapper. We've shared it out to YouTube with the hashtags. You'll be able to go to my YouTube account and watch the recast of the multi-stream there. And if you go to Edge29 Chaos Preparedness, you can subscribe to my live stream there. I haven't tested it yet, but I believe you could probably go on there and be able to watch it on the website. So I got to get down here to some of the ones that hasn't been sent to. Let's see here. Let's send this out. All right, I believe I've got it sent to all the different groups that I'm in. All right, so we're going to let that. Brian, it's good to see you, bud. We are starting the Chaos multi-stream, Chaos Cast29 multi-stream. So we're dressing Clapper. Now I'm fixing to activate my TikTok and get it going. So we got lighting. Let me go turn on some more lights. Oh Lord. Got that tool was laying there. All right, so as I activate things, TikTok will be where I bring most of my guests on. Mixer Man, good to have you in here. Yeah, TikTok will be where I bring most of my guests on to talk. So if you are, I do it sometimes, but it's hard to do it with all the different things going on. So if you are on Clapper, throw your questions in the box. We'll try to answer them. If you're on HAPS and you want to get in on the cast, you want to bring things up, you can go into the comments on TikTok. Again, Edge29 Chaos Preparedness is our account on TikTok, so you can go there and get in on the Chaos Cast. If you have questions you need answered now, go there. And we're going to be looking at my friend Derek Who's knife today in the Chaos Cast. I got this in the mail, and I told them I was going to put it through the ringers. It's a pretty decent little sharp blade that we've got over here. And we had another one of our clapper friends who has made the sheath for it. We got a handle on it. And when they're done with this is going to be kind of a unique item because it's going to have survival equipment inside the handle. And I have to say the handle actually is a pretty decent grip for a handle. The blade is about the right kind of size. It's not quite a cap heart, but it kind of is. I like it. You can get that drop point for drilling. And you've got the Allen wrench where you can take it out and take the handle off, and you'll have different survival gear items inside. Now, I don't know what they're going to put in there. They've not put it in there yet. And we are going to be working on getting some reviews of that. I'm going to talk a little more about this as we go through the cast. It is hot. Let's see here. We're going to get a fan going. There we go. All right, so we got us a fan going. All right. Archie Hyde, good to see you in here. So we got 6 coming in on TikTok. Share this out. Let's share it out to different groups you're in. Let's get folks involved. If you want to bring up a preparedness subject, you can do that. As I start the TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and probably begin the chaos news. That's what I call it. Woo! TikTok. Let's see here. I'm going to live. Yes, Cast29. All right, let's get this up and going. My friend Danny told me the optimal place for my face is going to be right in here. So we're going to do that. All right, so this will be available on YouTube for replay. This is Cast29, February 2nd. Lord help, I messed up. Hey, Riley, good to see you. This is Chaos Cast29. This is February the 12th, 2/12/22. So we're glad to have you here. Welcome in everybody that's coming in. First off and foremost, we don't have any politics in the comments. We are strictly trying to get people prepared. So if we have trolls that come in, we will kick you out. Now, Clapper, I usually don't have that problem. TikTok's usually the main place I have that problem. I'm streaming on multiple things, so if I don't get to your questions right off, be patient with me. Riley, would you like to be a moderator? Hey, Hot Willings, good to see you. Riley, if you'd like to be a moderator, let me know in the comments. And if you see anybody bring anything up, like troll-wise, just trying to start troll, I'd like you to just block them, kick them from the cast, because we got a lot of things going on around the world. So I like to try and give you good things to use, good ideas for preparedness. I like to bring news you may not have heard. So we got 15 on Clapper, 7 on TikTok, and 1 on HAPS. So share this out. Let's bring more in. Let's get more folks going. Again, Riley, if you're still in here and you're interested in being a moderator, let me know, because I know who I can trust and who I can't. Hot Willing, I would let you, but I don't know if I figure you're probably just passing through. You got something going on, but if you want to be a moderator, I'll make you a moderator too. All right, so I guess we're going to get into the news today, just some of the things I've seen. So we've got a lot of airlines that are canceling flights to the Ukraine right now. All right. You are a moderator, my friend. If you see any trolls come in just like basically doing stupid stuff, like starting to argue about Biden or Trump or politics, kick them out. We're getting to the news. That's just countermandative to our goals here today. So we're seeing a lot happen on the Ukrainian front. Russia, from what I've seen and what I've studied, we're talking about chaos news. We're talking about preparedness. Got 19 on Clapper, so that's just to update y'all what we're talking about. But on the Ukrainian front, I believe Russia has 100 some odd thousand soldiers on the border. A lot of people say, there's been some clips I've seen, they say that Putin basically is testing NATO. He's not afraid of NATO. He doesn't see them as a threat. He's caught them off guard with what he's doing. The fact that they're going and talking to him and asking him not to get in on this or not to do this, they really don't have a way of completely stopping it. Now, I've seen where the UK is not, they say NATO is not a threat to Putin. They're not sending soldiers. We are sending soldiers. I don't know exactly how bad this is going to get, but one clip that I did see, and this is just hearsay, is that, thanks for the likes on Clapper. Again, everybody share this out. Let's get this going. Let's get more and more folks in here. But again, this is hearsay, but they're saying that there are forward operating bases, FOBs, that are being deployed by the Russians. There are medical bases being set up for the wounded. They are preparing for actual combat situation in the Ukraine. We're seeing multiple countries. Now, I've read the Israelis, the U.S., the UK, just now the French, the Swiss. They are counseling their nationals to get out of Ukraine, to not be there. So I don't care what side of the fence you're on, something's fixing to happen in that area. They say that the Russians are preparing their cyber warfare division to begin scrambling the GPS signals to keep people from tracking. Hey, Doomsday Podcast, good to see you. So we got Doomsday Podcast on Clapper this time. So, but I'm going to make you a moderator over here if you have time. So if we have any problems here, I'd like you to take care of that. So we've got 27 on Clapper, 20 on TikTok, and it's saying 1 on House, but sometimes it takes a few minutes for that to get going because that goes to more of my local affiliates as well as some folks on the Grow Food Now Facebook page. So we're seeing this global stage. There's a lot of people wondering about it. Are we going to enter into World War III? So there's a concern for cyber attacks. So, all right. So Rasteard says, I have a serious question, maybe need advice on later if you don't mind. So go ahead and post your question. It may take a minute. If it's serious, we'll answer it. But we do have a lot of trolls coming here. So continue to share this out as we go. Continue to get more folks in here. Keep sending those likes. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the people in. Prepped and Prepared, good to have you in here. If you are looking for canning solutions, go to Prepped and Prepared. She is a rebel canner. Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be a physical situation, but the world war we're going to see happen here is going to be cyber attacks. They've been testing our networks for the last probably decade, and they've ramped it up here lately. Yes, exactly, Graham Franco. Prep up, get food, have what FEMA suggests. At least what FEMA suggests: the 3 days of food and water and a way to cook and keep warm, especially in the winter. But I like to have enough to last at least 3 months. That's what I'm saying. Have at least 3 months, because Riley's canning too. So y'all go check what she's doing out too. If you don't have the money to go out and buy a lot, look at beans and rice. Get the basics. Look, make sure you have plenty of salt. Look at canning. And Rasty Jeer is, I think I said that right, is bringing up the next point of Chaos Cast News. So we got 2 on House now. It's good to have you on here. Share this out to your socials and get more folks in here. So we got World War III. We've talked about this. So I'm going to ask everybody, let's just get involved here. Pallet Cabin Man, it's good to have you here. Good friend of mine. So I want everybody to get involved here. So let's see some explosion emojis in in the comments. I know that's a little different, but when people come in, we want to give them a reason to, hey, what's going on there? So let's see some explosion emojis in there and some prayer hands. We're praying that there's not going to be a war. So if you would do that for me, those of you that are watching, explosion emojis and prayer hands in the comments by everybody. So let's bring more in. Red beans and rice, that's a good prep to have because they last long. You can set them up to last 25 years. So let's look at the trucker situation. If you do not realize, truckers run the world. Somebody has brought up we could bring in a lot of things by train, but the thing you've got to realize is it's got to get from the depot. It's got to get from where the trains stop to the stores. So if you don't have trucks coming from the trains, you don't have food going on the shelves. So I encourage you to have some food in case this trucker convoy lasts longer than what we are thinking it will. Thank you, Doomsday Podcast. Thank y'all for the explosions and the prayer hands. Nick Hayworth, Sweet Thunder 95. Thank y'all for the explosions and the prayer hands. So now we're going to get the trucks. Let's get them really thinking as they come in. Put some truck emojis into the hey, Gromex, it's good to see you, bud. We're going to be talking about this knife later. We're going through the preliminaries right now. Let's see some truck emojis in the comments here. Get people wondering what's going on. Hey, Letta, it's good to see you in here, girl. I'm going to tell you right now, handmade by 3GAC. If you're looking how to learn candles, she has classes on her site on how to make candles. Candles will be an invaluable prep as you move forward. So this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be a crazy thing. This really going to change how things function in America, Canada, and around the world if these truckers and farmers begin to protest in the same manner we're seeing in Canada. You're going to see food not being moved. You're going to see places, especially urban areas, where the food is normally coming in by day. It comes in daily. It goes onto the shelves daily. You're going to see people that are not able to afford that food, or they're not going to be able to get that food. Again, everybody share this out. Let's get more in. If you're just coming in, let's see some truck emojis in the comments. Get more people wondering what's going on here. Get some eyes on this news. Let's get involved. Share it out to your socials. Share it out to your groups. Share it out to your friends, and let's bring more in here. In fact, I'm going to share it, do some more shares. I'm going to share it out to Blue Duke, Papa the Craftsman, Buzzard Life, couple of my friends, if I can get this thing to do it. Hey, heck, my brother, Planet Patriot, Allie. This guy, he don't have a name on him, weirdly. Big Daddy Al, we'll get him in. Buzzkill, Southwest Prepper, Shanti Underwood, JP, Becca Caraway, Liz Ventures. We're going to send that out to them. So let's bring more in here. But the thing you've got to realize with this trucker thing, they've pretty well shut down Canada. And what's going to happen, they're shutting down more entrances into Canada. That means supplies are not flowing. Fuel is not flowing. Yes, if you've never experienced war, then you're lucky. I count myself lucky, but I may not continue to be lucky. We may not continue to be lucky. Do you realize how lucky we are in America to have the bounty that we do in the stores? Do you realize how wealthy we are to have the peace we have in America? And I don't know if that will last if they cyber attack us and shut down our grids, if they cyber attack us and shut down communications, if they cyber attack us and shut down fueling stations, that'll hit the truckers. But what we're looking at right now, even DHS is becoming more concerned about the trucker protest that is heading to D.C. So we got 37 on Clapper. Hats off to y'all. Keep sharing this out. Get more in. We're at 21 on TikTok. We got up to about 40 or 50 there, and we're still on 2, but we may have more than that on Haps because it is an experimental. Look into. This guy's talking about Bofang radios. Here's the thing: if we have an EMP, you're going to have to look at alternatives even to ham radios. You're going to have to look at old ham radios because the pulse will hit those radios. Also, it may affect the network that you're going to be using. There may not be a way to contact some of these people, so be very careful with that. Um, I wouldn't have my antennas up. I'd have alternative antennas. So be very mindful of that because it will affect a lot of things, especially CBs. It's going to hit the smoke signals. Blue Duck is saying Faraday cages are great. Grounded Faraday cages with U-line static shield bags. There's a lot of different things about a Faraday cage you've got to get to working. So let's continue getting the likes. Let's continue getting the shares. Let's get more folks in here. Let's keep seeing them truck emojis in the comments right there. Get folks involved. I hope you're having a wonderful day too, Amber Bishop 22. She's from Washington. Everybody tell Amber you love her, and it's good to have her in here. God, I pray you just help Amber up there in Washington. We don't know what's coming. Hopefully nothing will happen in Washington or Alabama or wherever y'all are at. But as we move forward, this trucker thing, it's beginning to grow. Even DHS is concerned about it. Even DHS is they're putting at least 500 people on the ground to deal with this situation. Yeah, they're wanting to go around the routes, but what happens when the main routes begin to be closed? Now, that's still going to stymie the flow of supplies. And then there's not going to be truckers that are hauling things. They're going to be sitting in place. And once they run out of fuel, if they take their fuel, once they lock those brakes in, it's going to make it exponentially harder. And we will probably have the same problem as the Canadians are having, as the towing companies are not going to go against their own business interests. So we're finally starting to see something happen we've never seen before. Riley's saying that the truckers have been threatening to shut things down for years. People are really going to begin to wake up and see where their food comes from, it does not just appear on the shelves. Be prepared. I don't care what side you're on. Be prepared. Have some food. So I do all this for free most of the time, but what helps is when you do go to our affiliates. So yeah, this is a shameless plug. Go to ReadyWise.com. Use E29TEN. Code to get a 10% discount. That helps us continue what we're doing here. It helps you to be prepared. This food lasts for 25 years. You can get short time preparedness for your camping and hiking trips and adventure meals, and you can also get long-term storage. Also, you can go to OLIDE, another affiliate, use code DB29 to get you O-Pins. This one's got the laser pointer on it. You can use that in the office setting. It's got a flashlight setting on it. Multiple things. They got the Baton 3s. So go check those things out. Go to our affiliates. Just tapping the banners on my website helps us get like $1 per click. So you will be helping us with that. Yeah, freeze-dried fruit for kids from ReadyWise. Doomsday Podcast is bringing that up on Clapper. It's great for snacks for the kids. Plus, I'm just going to throw that out there. If you got the time to do it yourself, you can do those things with a dehydrator. So be mindful. There's all kinds of videos and tips on Clapper, on YouTube, on Facebook. Probably not on Facebook. It's probably done been taken off. And on TikTok, that will help you be prepared. I want to help you. If you got the money to buy it and don't have the time to do it, you can go there. That's a resource. If you have the time to do it yourself, we have the resources there. The truckers strike in the 70s. And see, I don't remember that. I was not alive. I've not heard as much about it. But Drawd 32 is bringing that up. He's saying this will be far worse. So that is something for people to keep in mind. So we're seeing the count go down on TikTok. Clapper's staying at 37. Haps, we're not sure where Haps is at, but we're glad to have y'all. TikTok, we're glad to have everybody in here. Let's get this message out. We're going to start talking about a few other things. We're going to get off the news. So much news, I can't cover it all. We talked about the important stuff. Be prepared. We may not be in war, but we may go into some form of embargo. And right now, Russia they supply about like 80 to 90% of the fertilizer that we use, the ammonium nitrate that we use in fertilizer for our fields. So this will cause shortages one way or another if they invade Ukraine. Also, if there's a trucker strike, this will cause shortage. Share this out, get more folks in. We're going to share that out. We're seeing things that will progress into becoming game changers for our society. So we're going to share this out. to more folks. We're going to get more in here if we can. If you're just now coming in, share this out, get the likes up, get the folks involved, get more and more people coming in, and let's help get this message out. Share it to your socials, tell people about the cast, and get it going. So there we go. We shared it out to some more folks. We're glad if you're joining us now. Hey, Kimberly Shea, it's good to see you. Kimberly Shea has a habit of going back and forth between TikTok and Clapper when she comes into my live, and I love it. It cracks me up. We thank you for that, Kimberly Shea. She's one of my supporters on Clapper. So she's been supporting me for a while, so we thank you for your support, Kimberly Shea. And if you see her pop up in the comments, give her a follow. She's a cool chick from Australia, and no, they don't ride the kangaroos. I learned that from her. So we're gonna continue on. So my friend Derek Who from Clapper and his brother, they have made this knife. They have crafted this survival knife. This is going to be a venture of theirs. We have a number of Clapper creators that are going to be involved in this. If you're not on Clapper, go check them out. Chevron and BP making record profits. Yeah, it's always about making profits. But as we go forward, we had a number of folks that we had one of our creators that made this nice sheath. Love this sheath. One of our creators, I believe, made the handle. Not sure right now what these scales are made of, but they've got a good feel to them. And then Derek's brother, he fashioned this blade, and it's a stainless steel blade. I can't remember exactly what grade, but I will say it's a pretty stout grade of stainless. It's a survival knife. So if you notice, they've got a magnet that holds a mini Allen wrench inside this, and it can be used to take these set screws out. There's a male and a female end on either side, and there is a compartment that you would be able to place different items, whether it be fish hooks, maybe a water tablet. They're going to actually, I believe, preload these with certain things. So what we all didn't say, that you inform us there, Jimmy Coffee. But we'll address it if it's legitimate stuff we need to talk about. But yeah, it's just the right size. Now I've done said this on Haps. Hey, we got 3 on Haps. That's good for Haps. 35 on Clapper and 23 on TikTok. So keep sharing this out. We got about 60 some odd people in here. It's good to have y'all. The likes are at almost 3,000 here. I don't have a like count on Clapper, but we got a bunch of them. Thank y'all for your likes. Thank y'all for getting this out. Beardmaster, my buddy Beardmaster's here. He lives out there in Nevada, out there in Las Vegas. Beardmaster, you better have a place to go when the crap hits the fan. You don't want to be out in that desert where there ain't no water. But yeah, it's got what I feel like is a perfect size blade for survival and bushcraft and things of that nature. This should be your first item. Not this specifically, because they don't have them. They're in the development stage of this. We are talking about possibly at some point having this for sale on the Cast29chaos.com. But what they're doing, and they're going to give this to to a friend of ours. But what they will be doing is they're wanting to make a unique knife that's very useful, and they're wanting to Seared Soul, my friend Kevin May from Australia is here. How are you doing, my friend? It has been a while. He loves Three Musketeers. You know they don't have them in Australia, but they've come up with this knife, and there's a current creator project going on Clapper. So a knife should be your first prep. Should be your first tool to have. And there's a lot of things that you can do with a knife. It's literally the main survival tool you want to have, because you can it's the hardest thing to recreate from nature. Now you can use rocks, yes, but if I have the choice between this and a rock, I'm not a veteran. I'm a veteran fireman. So there was that, but I'm not a military veteran. I won't claim that status because that's not who I am. You can, a knife. Now, Pilot Cabin Man is bringing up something, a way to sharpen it. You can actually use different types of rock to do similar to what you're doing with a whetstone or a leather strap. So that is something to keep in mind, something we will be doing videos on. But yes, this is like the perfect size handle. It's full ting. It's a right size of blade. You can do a lot with this in a survival situation. You can fashion other tools. You can process food. You can create traps for food. You can cut the materials to make cordage. You can make shelter. You can affect survival with this, with a knife. Now, our friend Seared Soul, he is a truck driver in Canada. He is on the clap wrap right now. He has been a longtime friend of what we do here at Cast29 Cast Preparedness. One of my first big-time supporters, along with Irish Eyes. And we've been friends ever since. We click. My wife loves him. She says he puts me in my place, and I need that. So again, let's share this out and get more folks in here. Let's get as many as we can into the Chaos Cast. I'll go ahead and share it out myself. There we go. Go down through here and share it to a couple new folks. My friend Joe Moore. Joe Bobby Moore, Big John. All right, we'll send that out. So we thank you for joining us here. But yes, they're going to be doing this project. So I'm going to be putting this through the riggers. We're going to be batoning it. Shaylee Love. So Shaylee Love's question is this. Are people not versed in survival outdoors really going to be able to hone skills in prompt? And one of the main things that I'm going to say there is, yes, I believe there is the possibility. I'm not going to say that they will. I'm going to say there's a possibility. When you look at the Pilgrims and the Pioneers are the main people to look at. A lot of them went out unprepared. Some died, some made it. Hey, Prepper Nation, it's good to see you. Formerly known as the account called Tattoo Bearded Chubby Man. We will be bringing him up in a few minutes. Riley, what was your question? Let me go back. It may not have brought it up. I've had trouble on TikTok with the questions. Riley, if you're wanting to come up, you can. Let me know what you were saying, because I don't think I got one of them. The knives you can buy on Cutlery Corner. I'm not sure. I've not shopped on Cutlery Corner, but maybe a handful of times. This society is a lot different, but it's also still the same. History repeats itself. You always have those people that can innovate. There may be the most prepared person in the world, but they're so set on their plan they cannot innovate. They may lose everything they've prepared in a day, and then they will not be able to innovate. Hey, Appalachian Prepper, it's good to have you. Good to have you in. And hey, go give Appalachian Prepper a follow. He knows a lot about foraging. Give Prepper Nation a follow. He's got a lot of good advice. Riley, she's one of our up-and-comers on here. And Pallet Cabin Man, give these folks a follow. If you're on Clapper, give my friend Kevin Mace here at Soul a follow. Doomsday Podcast, Kimberly Shea. Give them all a follow. Lord, it's hard keeping up with 3 different sites at once. Y'all pray for us. Actually, we're going on 5 because we've got actually 4 because we're going on the Grow Food Now site too. People will learn. One thing my cousin Charlie said, he went into the military. He was a law enforcement for years. He went into the military at 35, and he finally got out. And one thing I said, at one time, if we ever ended up in some kind of civil war or something of that nature, he said, look, you learn something every day. You just got to survive. The next one basically was what I was getting. I believe there will be people that will go out with no skills at all, but will have a better chance of surviving than some of the most prepared survivalists, just simply because they're wanting to survive. They're going to be watching. Their mind will be their learning functions in their mind will go into overdrive simply probably because of the just the adrenaline in their bodies. Like that survival instinct will kick in, whereas some it won't. So I'm gonna ask everybody go ahead and share this out. Let's get the likes going up, get more folks in here, and I am going to also I'm going to talk a little bit about survival scarves real quick. Let's talk about the Shemagh This is 100% cotton shemagh. Why do I want it? All right, so it can be a head cover in the sun to keep you from getting burnt. It can be used to help insulate, help keep your body heat in. Excuse me, I had coffee before I started this. Also, it can be used to you can use this as some insulation. You can stuff it with loam and use this to help keep parts of your body up off the ground. Also, one of the things you can do, if you have stainless steel containers, you can cut pieces off of this and make char cloth. You can do that with bandanas, but this gives you the ability to do way more. You can also use it like a gaiter. If you are in a dust storm and you need a way to cut off the flow of dust into your nostrils, you can do this. He wears one. Pallet Cabin Man wears one year round. So this is a good prep to have. This was only $10 online. They may have been cheaper at one time, but a lot of preparedness things are going up. So we're going to go ahead and bring up. Let's see, where is Prepper Nation? We'll bring him up. He's one of our normal guests. We'll bring him up. We'll be getting his take on things. And you know his take is always different than mine. So it's always good to have that. Lord help. Go back up. We've had a lot of comments. Thank all y'all that have participated in the comments. Prepper Nation, where is he at? He get bananaed right in the middle of a stream? He gets bananaed all the time. He's had 3 accounts and 3 different names, and I always end up learning different. We never know. We never know who he's going to be the next time around. Let's see. Prepper Nation, throw me a comment up there so I can tag you. Let's see. Prepper Nation, there he is. He's got a different view, and I like to look at that. Let's see here. I like to. Okay, we got the invite sent. All right, Riley. I'm gonna bring you and Pallet Cabin Man up. Whoop. Pallet Cabin Man.
Hello.
How you doing there, Ryan? It's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. We have our internet's being a little weird right now.
Where is Riley?
Texas has another little storm.
I'm not seeing Riley's name, and I just say, here it is. We'll get her in here. All right. We've sent out the requests. So everybody that's left, go ahead and share this out. Let's get as many as we can in here in the chat. All right, so there's the podcast has come over. How you doing, Pallet Cabin Man?
Riley right down there.
There we go. Can you hear us, Pallet Cabin Man?
Yep.
There he is.
Loud and clear.
Hey, JP. All right, so thoughts on the Ukraine situation. What do y'all think is going to come about?
Well, I think the best thing that's going to come about is we just stay out of it.
That will be a good thing. Pallet Cabin Man, what's your thoughts?
I don't really think much is happening. I think the news is telling us that it's happening because they want to distract us from other things that's going on. Everything I've heard, for a lot of things I've heard, that's the case.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. I believe that would be a generally knowledgeable assumption because that happens all the time. Shaia Lee Love says not going to happen. And Jake Break. All right, Riley, can you hear us? Riley? I see her picture, but I'm not hearing her.
Yeah. I see her, I don't hear her.
Riley? I'm going to drop you down, Riley, and resend the request. We're having technical difficulties if you're listening in. Man, why am I barely around anymore, sir? So working. I'm trying to get back in here more. I've been trying to build TikTok and Instagram up. so that's why I've not been in here as much. But I'm building an online platform, and I don't know if it's working or not. Riley, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Riley?
Yes.
There she is. So what is your take right now on the Ukraine situation?
We ain't got no business being over there.
Nope.
I don't think that's not our war.
Nope.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Now, they're not even in NATO, are they?
No, they're not.
They want to be.
Yeah. And I mean, who doesn't want to be a part of NATO right before you do stuff to want to cause a war, right? Like, I mean, that's like punching someone in the face and then running behind your big brother being like, see, look, I'm tough, you know?
That's exactly right. I had a little brother that did that kind of stuff back when we was kids.
Right. I mean, it's just none of our business, and it's none of our the warmongers. I'm going to call them the warmongers. They're pushing for all this stuff.
Yeah, money. It's all about money.
Yeah, it's a money thing. It has nothing to do with democracy. They'll tell you the reason why America needs to get into their democracy. But Ukraine's more corrupt than we are, and we're pretty damn corrupt, as you guys can all tell off of the last go around here. So
yeah, definitely.
It's literally just a show. I mean, it's not a show between Russia and Ukraine, but us popping off and saying we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and there's repercussions and all that stuff. That's just a show, man. And in my opinion.
So my friend Sona, he's giving. My friend Kevin from Australia, he's giving his input here. I'm gonna actually bring him up over here, but he's saying the thing with war is proven. Even if it's not our war, we're going to end up involved in it. And that's probably true. We get involved in everything.
From Australia or from America?
Now this guy's from Australia, but I feel like it's true for America. Kevin, how are you doing? He's coming from the future, folks. He's a whole day ahead of us. Can you hear us, Kevin?
Sometimes I wish I couldn't hear you, but
can y'all hear Kevin?
Yeah. He sounds like he's from the future.
He is from the future. He's from Australia. How many kangaroos have you rode today, mate?
I'm riding kangaroos, Dennis. You know better than that.
So, let's get your take on what's Australia's take? You're in the military in Australia. What is your take on the Ukraine situation? Do you think it is a big money gamble? You think we need to just America needs to stay out of it?
I think part is many places try to stay out of it. Eventually, they're going to get pulled into war, as proven time and time again.
Kevin, I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm going to drop him down. We'll try and get him back up. Clapper is a work in progress. All right.
The thing is, like, any conflict involving Russia is going to affect the economy in a negative way. It's going to affect the economy a lot more if we all of a sudden decide to start fighting another war right after getting out of a 20-year war.
That's my thing. I mean, let us get a rest for a second. Let us get our feet under us.
I mean, just fight for our country and not everybody else's country. I hate to say it.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Russia isn't coming here.
Kevin
they do. I mean, they would never do that because of other reasons besides the people in the White House right now, right? That's the only reason to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not against
that's our
people,
battle.
right? It's against our government. And there's a lot of people, I'm going to sound like a Russian fanboy right now, but I'm not really. I mean, I respect the country, but they try to say that America, and us Americans were so much better and we're a democracy and all that stuff. And look how well that's panned out for us right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that is a sore loser deal. I'm just saying that it is so corrupt.
Whoa.
It's not a democracy.
And I agree with you. It's become.
Did we all just get bananas or what?
No, are you there? Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, I'm there. Like it just all flashed on my screen.
Well, I actually accidentally dismissed it when I was trying to share it out, and so that was my fault there. Y'all pray for us down here in Alabama. So can y'all see me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. I was attempting to share it out. Sir Kevin is saying he believes that they're all just popping off to gain a status, and he believes the repercussions will arise and people will too. Doomsday Podcast said, wife just got home, have to go do some hillbilly stuff, letting you know so you can make a new mod. All right, bud. Kev, I'm going to make you a mod.
He's scared of me.
He's scared of you? Oh, my Lord. What have you been doing to him? What have you done to him, Riley?
Just my regularly scheduled bullying. That's all.
All right, we're going to invite Grow Food Now up, if it'll let her. I don't know if I can get. How many people can you have?
But like with Russia and Ukraine, it's going to be like that forever.
Yeah.
Unless if there is a total takeover, right?
Yeah, and that is true.
It'll never go away.
I think
and even still look at Yugoslavia. I mean, those countries, they still all just fight with each other all the time. It's not like an all-out warfare, but there's constantly beef going on between those 5 countries. It's just mind your own fucking business, Russia.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally like North Korea and South Korea expected to get along.
Danny, I've got too many guests.
Japan in the middle.
I've got too many guests on TikTok. Can you go to Clapper? Because I've got a spot where I can bring you up on Clapper, and then you can join. Grow Food Now is in the house. She's one of my partners in the preparedness. She's trying to revive the Victory Gardens movement, so she may join us on Clapper. I've got my full amount of guests on TikTok. You never know how many guests we're going to have on here. So we're going to move on from the Russia thing. Putin is basically looks like he's trying to rebuild the USSR states back into a nation. Once he gets Ukraine, I believe he'll go for a lot of the Baltic nations. And also, all our fighters are going to be over there. And I believe that if we do get into that war, that would open up a chance for Mr. Joe's old buddies to come in on the western shores and set up camp and start moving across America. I almost feel like they may have an agreement there where they can take over the rest of Europe and China can attempt to come over here and take us and get our resources.
I do think it was convenient that Russia started making moves as soon as North Korea set off that one thing that activated NORAD over here that denied and then confirmed and then denied again. And it was like after that, when we were distracted by North Korea, was when Russia started all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it was convenient timing.
And I feel like they're working together. So Danny, you said you got now. My friend Danny V is over here on Clapper. You said you have. Hey, Boston accent, it's good to see you. Danny, you said you got direct connections to the trucker convoy. You mentioned that on my video. So what do you have on that?
I did. There are groups starting up in the United States all over the place. They're a little more underground. It's hard to get into the groups and stuff like that because there are definitely like spies in there, like people who wish to do it harm, people who wish to like spy on it.
Are you a spy?
Like
do we got spies in here? I'm not making fun of you, Danny. I'm just asking because we got trolls everywhere.
Oh yeah. So you can't really hand out the information to just everybody. But I assure you, there will be a trucker convoy in the United States.
Yeah. I had a feeling they were, and somebody brought it up that they were going to start heading towards the border eventually to shut down our Mexican border. So, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Starting with Pallet Cabin
It's
Man.
not the place to be.
You say that's
Some people have been throwing that idea out there a lot in the groups, but not a lot of people are really going for it.
Pallet Cabin Man?
Anybody who's been down there knows why.
Okay. I'm going to ask Pallet Cabin Man to give his thoughts, and then, Riley, I'm going to get you to elaborate on that. Pallet Cabin Man, what do you feel like about the border if they shut our Mexican border down?
Well, I think they have like a righteous thing going on here. You know, we shouldn't be told what to do. We should be able to do what we want, right? If they shut down the border, it's going to be rough. But this is kind of like a civil war without, you know, any kind of bloodshed at this point. You know, people are making a huge difference.
Hey, Boston.
I support.
Long time no see. I'm happy you have a girlfriend. I'm happy.
Okay, now Riley, you were talking about elaborating. We were talking about you elaborating on if you've ever been down to the border and you've seen it. So can you kind of go into a little more detail about what you were talking about?
Dennis, can you turn
Cartels.
the volume down on Clapper just a little bit? I'm getting feedback.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Riley, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Up out of here for a while.
Cartels are a huge issue with Mexico. And cartels literally run entire cities and states in Mexico. Like, they are the government. And they do not hold back. If they want you gone, you will be gone. And that's what they do. And they're very good at it. Most of the border is just open land. If you're not at one of the cities where people normally pass through, it's just land. There is nothing to protect you. There's nothing stopping anything from happening, and people will just disappear. Americans will disappear.
Yeah.
And truckers who have been down to Laredo or El Paso, wherever, know the kinds of things that happen there and the energy that exists there, and know that that is not the place to fight any kind of war with our own government. That's not the place to do it. It's not safe. Okay. It's not where we should be, and most truckers know that.
They already have like marijuana operations all over the place in California. They're all set up there. Like they're already here, but it would be a bad place for the truckers to go.
So you're saying that would be danger, whereas the Canadian border doesn't have a lot of militants. We're looking at the Mexican border does. Pallet Cabin Man, thanks for coming in, brother. I think he had said he had to hop out, so I'm trying to keep up with all the things going on. So forgive me, brother, but it's good to have you in here. So one of the things that I'll bring up, noting that, what you brought up, Riley, and you're agreeing with it, Danny, is that when El Chapo's sons, one of them was captured, you had basically the other son took over the whole city, and he had military-grade MRAPs and belt-fed machine guns. He took over the city, and the leader of the military that was there surrendered to him. Let's see you, sir. Or he's sitting by the bus. So...
And the military has become part of the mod. If you haven't watched the movie Tropa de Elite, it is in Portuguese. It's out of Brazil. So you'll have to find a subtitled version if you're torrenting, or if you can find it online to rent or buy, whatever. It's an amazing movie. Tropa de Elite. And it highlights the corruption that exists
Black Spider-Man.
in the countries south of us. And it's not exaggerated at all. Militaries are just part of the cartels.
Okay. Prepper Nation.
You want to learn about cartels.
Go ahead, Prepper Nation.
Learn about cartels. Go on the Sean Ryan show on his YouTube page and just YouTube Ed Calderon.
Ed Calderon?
Yeah, he's literally was the front lines against the cartel until recently. And I mean, like, very recently. and you will learn the truth about how the cartels move and their business practices and their one-sided care. Really, you know what I mean? Like they don't care about anything besides themselves.
So Ed Caldron, you're saying what YouTube channel is this?
On Sean Ryan's show.
So Sean Ryan's show on YouTube. Look for now the guy Ed Caldron. Caldron. Look him up if you're coming in. We're talking about the cartel. We're talking about the reality of it. Queen Ager's here and somebody else. We're having malfunctions on Clapper. That's not a surprise. We're used to it.
You know what, Dennis? Someone's sending me a message telling me that they're going to go to church for the first time in many years who says that they're not a Christian. And I'm getting this in a text message right now. So I'm going to go.
We'll see you, Danny.
I'm going to go talk to her.
Holler at me later.
See you later, guys.
All right. Whoa. There we go. All right. So, one of the things now I love reading, doomsday novels, but one of the things that comes up in one of the recent ones I was reading, it's an online book, was the fact the cartel started basically taking over American cities in that storyline. And something to understand is if there is a breakdown, a societal breakdown, I believe we'll see probably a cartel military incursion into areas that are of interest to them. So if you're living on the border, that is something to consider. You may have to bug out simply because you have military grade equipment rolling into your farm or your ranch, and they just decide to start taking what you have because they have the power to do it. And you may go out in a blaze of glory, but because our friend Jeremy Calgaro has told us many times he's gonna go out in a blaze of glory. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind.
One thing I think people should do is learn to speak Spanish. People keep thinking we need to learn Chinese or Russian for the apocalypse. That's not going to exist here in America. Even if they take over, we're still going to speak English. Mm-hmm. If we have any kind of conflict stateside, it's likely going to involve Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah.
If they're not already speaking English. And knowing the slang, knowing what things mean and all that, can save your life.
And that's a good idea.
Even if it's not like a World War III with Mexico kind of thing, whatever, like even if you just find yourself in a compromising situation, the most likely language you are going to be hearing is Spanish.
Yeah.
In America.
Now Shy Lee Love is saying once the cartels make their mind up and move on something, they won't stop. And I agree with that. We've seen cartel activity move into my small town. We've seen a lot of heroin begin to start getting trafficked around here lately. We have a lot of Hispanic, just regular, folk Hispanics that are moving in. So we got a lot of neighbors right now. They know a little English, but they know more. Their first language is Spanish. So I told my wife, so we're going to have to get our sons to learn Spanish, to have a better understanding of it, because they may fall in love with a Hispanic-speaking girl because there's a few of them in the neighborhood now, and which I don't got a problem with. I just want them to have a good understanding, go and be better prepared for the future, like you're saying, Riley, because they will when the borders break down, when this is no longer a nation, they'll move in to protect their interests. Prepper Nation, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, so like on the cartel business side of things, people underestimate the cartels and they think it's just drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. The drugs is one of their smallest money makers out of the entire organization,
mm-hmm.
right? Now, people at I kind of feel like I know this Shayla Lee Love individual or whatever from Colorado, but
they're bringing up a lot of good points.
Sorry, so they don't understand that the cartel is directly tied to a lot of the Black Lives Matter movement.
No, I didn't know that.
All of the civil unrest, all of where they started looting all these electronic stores and Nike outlets and all this stuff, right? They're tied into that, and literally that gets brought back to them. They purchase it. So like Sir 13, Bloods, Crips, any other small gangs, literally there's a gang out there called Pretty Boy Gang, not even joking.
Careful what names you're saying on TikTok.
And I'm used to getting banana. They just banana me for a living.
Don't get us bananas now.
I just refer to them as like the blue ones and the red ones and the multiple ones and all that.
Whole Christmas tree, rainbow, whatever you want to call it, right? They're all in on it, and they're getting paid because they feel important doing said jobs, and that transfers out through the entirety of America. And all of those belongings that were now stolen now get resold on the black market and stuff. Like, has anyone ever paid attention on how much Jordans and stuff go for on the black market?
No, I've never really wore Jordans before, so
yeah, I've never looked.
Yeah, let us know.
I mean, I've never worn Jordans before either, but the black market, just go start looking at the I'm calling it the black market, but even on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, right? Like, people pay too much money for that stuff, and that stuff, all that does is fund the cartels. That's part of their funding, right? No different than tequila, no different than avocados, all that stuff. Like, a lot of avocados, the chances are if you buy an avocado from the same people on the commercials that have the avocados from Mexico, you're buying an avocado from a cartel.
So I'll say this: when I go to Collinsville Flea Market, that's where I do a lot of business. I've sold there. I've been a vendor there. I've got a lot of Hispanic friends that were there that used to buy from me. And I can say there are things that are being sold there are kind of what you're talking about, black market. And anybody can buy them. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those products are up there right now being sold today at that or the Taco Bell flea market because there's no regulation. I mean, we're talking about a place they're selling firearms, they're selling ammunition, they're selling bootleg videos.
How do you track shoes? How do you track shoes to know if they're stolen or not? You don't have a serial number.
No, that's the thing. That's why they're in the business, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they're not stupid. People have to give them way more credit than what they do. The drugs are such a small drop in the bucket for what these individuals are involved in. And I mean, if you really want a big eye opener, go look at that Ed Calderon. And literally, if you're anywhere near a bordering sector of Mexico, you're going to think different. You're going to drive around your neighborhoods differently.
Now, I've got a friend on her tag on Clapper, Savage Siggy 6. I had her on. We done a live. They're working on a project for those that are victims of human trafficking, and she was human trafficked. And she was telling me a lot of things about the skin trade, and a lot of it takes place at the border. The cartel is involved with a massive amount of that because a lot of it is centered in America. And so that's part of their trade too. And I think women need to understand this as well as men. I guess they traffic men too, from what she was telling me. But you need to understand that if there is a collapse, there will be nobody there to stop these backroom brothels that'll pop up. I mean, that scenario is a big one too. There will be open sex. Hey, Randy, it's good to see you. There will be open sex trading in America if the law collapses because nobody will be there to stop it.
And it's such a huge issue already. The amount of people that get caught trafficking right now it's not even a drop in the bucket of what's actually going on and who's actually being trafficked. And you don't hear about most of the ones that are good, you don't hear about. They don't make the news. They don't get caught because they're good at what they do. So what you do hear about isn't even the best of what's out there because they're so good you don't even know they exist.
Yeah, those are the ones
I'm gonna address this comment.
No. We're gonna block them. What, Danny?
No, what I was going to say is we need legal immigration. We don't need the borders being flooded with people from all over the world coming through the border undocumented. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, what's going to happen is you get into something, they're not going to accept it. And so what I do is I block these folks because you've seen me argue with them, and then they try to shut down what the message I'm getting out.
Yeah.
While we're preparing.
Yeah, don't feed the trolls, yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically all they are. They don't even care about the subject matter we're talking about. They're going to throw something out there. Now, the guy who said that he didn't think Amish couldn't use cell phones, I think he's in here pretty regular saying that, so we'll let him stay if he gets out of line. Oh, and that might have been the... Oh, yeah, I kicked him out.
Mennonites use electricity sometimes.
Yeah, that might have just been
the cruising guy. I don't know if he understands that a lot of beards on the Amish are actually brown beards.
Yeah, I get that either Amish or Muslim comment all the time. I just don't like a mustache, and so I just keep it shaved. But I don't know. Maybe it helps me with the Amish and the Muslim community. We can get the preparedness message out. One of the things, and I'm going to say this now. We'll move on from the more volatile subject to another one. And Danny talks about...
How did I never notice that you didn't have a mustache?
I don't know.
Well, what the heck? Did I never even thought of this.
I didn't
know you for over a year.
I've been being called Amish by my friend Chris Shannon. He calls me Jebediah, and I guess I got to realizing it does got an Amish vibe to it. But hey, the Amish they're some of the most prepared folks in the world.
You don't want hair in your food, bro. I get it. Like, you don't want to pick hairs out of your teeth. I understand.
And my wife...
I just can't believe I never noticed it before. I've been talking to him on lives for over a year now, and
my wife won't kiss me with this mustache. She said it hurts. It's too rough. And
I don't blame her.
So I just shave it off. She tolerates this. I'll say this before we move on. My wife had never seen me without a beard until I joined the fire brigade at work. You know, we have fully operating fire team at my job site because a lot of chemicals and things. So I shaved my beard because they tell me I got to have it for the SCBA to get a good seal. And so I shaved it. Didn't know this when I joined, but once I was in, with the politics of work, you couldn't just quit. So I go in there and I shave it. I walk in, her eyes do this. And I was like, oh crap. She said, it's just such a shock. I've never seen you without a beard. And I said, I didn't never want you to see it, but I had to for the family. I've got to make money. Well, then I walk out of the room and my little boy is he's 4 or 5 times. He starts squalling. And my wife tells me later, he says, Mama, my daddy grow his beard back. It's scaring me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I grew the beard back when I quit this job and got out of firework. And so here I am now. Everybody says, you look like an Amish. And I'm like, well, I'll take it because they're ready. They're better able to take care of themselves. Their kids are better able to take care of themselves than us.
Listen, Jebediah, you gotta get one of them hats, take a picture, and I'll turn you into a little cartoon figure, and we'll run with it.
Oh my gosh! You probably done got some picture from one of our lives. Just screenshot it with Ready Wise and go ahead and just turn it into an Amish. Put me in some overalls with a piece of wheat sticking out my mouth.
There you go. I don't know.
You remember when Redheaded Rebel?
For cultural appropriation, but I don't think the Amish are going to care.
Well, I'm as close to Amish as
you know. If they're truly Amish, they'll never know.
You'd be surprised.
Exactly.
You would be surprised how integrated they are with electronics. Some of them just hide electronics, and the teenagers they go
the funny part about it, though. Like, there's people on here that are saying that they're Amish, and I'm like, that is such an oxymoron. You don't even know. Like, what?
So we've got Randy Richardson. He's wanting the T-shirt, Danny. So I'm giving you permission. If you will make this into a T-shirt, make a little money for the Victory Garden Revival Movement, you can. Dennis Bunch says, grow your food. And you got me sitting there with a little piece of wheat sticking out, overalls. But when Redheaded Rebel...
do that, but we can't say that it's Amish, though. You can dress however you want, but But I'm not advertising that as Dennis is about to be Amish because
Redhead Rebel, when she first joined us on Clapper, she that's how we kind of came together and started working together on Clapper, and then on here, Redhead Rebel kind of taught us a lot, and Danny already knew a lot. But she says, I'm going to be working with some survivalists, and she's got her piece of wheat. It's one of them snapshot pictures. And she's got her piece of wheat and a straw hat, and I said, man, that ain't nothing but dad blame stereotyping us rednecks. And but then I get over it because Red's an awesome person. I'm tired of stereotyping.
I remember that.
So my mind went completely blank. What I was fixing to bring up after that. Lord help us out. Squirrel. Yeah. We got on that. And a racist accent.
How is your accent racist?
I don't know. I don't know.
I can't.
The ignorance of individuals just amaze me every day.
Wow.
All right, we got a troll. We get them out. Chaos Cast seems to be a magnet for trolls lately. Racist accent. I've had many people ask me, are you a racist because you're from Alabama? And I said, there's not as many left as you think. Maybe some 70-year-old ones out there on the mountain. But, I mean, a lot of folks, Danny, you probably know, I helped my cousin raise 3 African-American children. They're like my children. I've helped them get jobs. I've helped them learn things in life. I taught them how to hunt, taught them how to earn money off scrap metal. One of my good friends next door, he's Hispanic. I don't care about race. I mean, we got good friends on Clapper that are LGBTQ. Seared Soul, he's part Aboriginal, and he is also part of the BDSM community. I mean, I don't really care who you are. I'll be your friend. So
at the end of the day, if you treat me good, I treat you good.
Exactly.
That's the way it goes down.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, having people that you can trust.
Catch flack for saying this, but I'm definitely a culturist for sure.
Now explain that to us.
Explain that,
All right.
please.
So race has nothing to do with it, right? Every race has its own trash.
Yeah.
And the culture is, like, so the gang cultures, every race has their gangs, right? And then there's combined race gangs as well, but that's a culture. So I'm against those cultures, right? And people freak. So if they see me fighting with someone who just happens to be black, but he's a couple letters of the alphabet, you know what I mean? Or he's representing red or blue or green or pink or whatever. I have issues with those.
So you don't like gangs? Is that what you're saying?
What'd you say?
You don't like gangs, basically? The gang mentality?
Well, I mean, just in general, right? So, like, do I support, like, Hell's Angels or whatever, right? Or what they do on the bad side? No, I'm going to have a problem with it.
That makes sense.
Any of that nature, right? Like, that's just how I am.
Uh-huh.
And people literally will try to paint you as racist because of that.
Cultural bigotry. And I face it every day, Shiley Love. I face cultural bigotry every day because of my accent and apparently my beard. And I'm telling you, it's going to have to stop, folks. I'm tired of y'all's cultural bigotry towards me. I don't like it. I didn't come on here for it, so I'm going to say it. But we'll move on. I did remember what we were talking about. Danny, you've talked a lot about your dreams on
Yes.
lives. And you were one of the first people I met that kind of had the same feelings. You kind of felt that call to start preparing.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was, and I actually was thinking Victory Gardens myself, and then you came along with that chicken you gave whiplash and you dancing, and then I seen what you're doing.
Footage was sped up, guys. guys, the chicken did not have whiplash. I sped the footage up. So it does kind of look like the chicken's going a little faster than it should.
If you post that right now, Peter's going to end up getting you bananaed. Just for that chicken
I'll
getting
have to
that.
slow it back down.
They're going to send a police over to check on you to make sure them chickens ain't getting slung around, wrung by the neck. But no, I've seen that more and more people that are saying they felt the urge to prep. And recently I reconnected with a childhood friend. He is a tattoo artist in Virginia. He's actually a custom tattoo artist. He only works with certain people. And
That's awesome.
and one of the things that he said, he had started, he was a militant atheist, and then he came back to Christ, and now he started feeling this urge to prep. And everybody around him in the Virginia area made fun of him. His dad made fun of him. Well, then he's felt the need to start preparing for cold weather. And I felt the same thing.
I felt that too.
And he said that, and I said, man, I've been ordering sleeping bags and getting wool blankets together and things of that nature. And he said,
heavy blankets and everything.
Heavy wool is probably one of the best things, along with low 0 rating degree blankets or negative degree sleeping bags. I mean, and also Mylar blankets. But one of the things that he said, his dad had made fun of him, and now he's talking about he's wanting to buy land, and because he sees it coming, and more people are starting to feel that same urge to come,
Yes.
come forward in prepping, and so
Yeah.
it's like people sense it in the air. So Riley, we know me and Danny are pretty well versed in why we started prepping. Were there any unctions or inclinations of that nature? You may not be Christian or anything, but you may have had an unction or an inclination, an instinct to start prepping. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm Norse pagan, so
Okay.
no Jesus or anything like that.
All right.
What happened with me is when I was about 7 or 8, where I lived back in upstate New York, we had a weather event called a microburst, if anybody is familiar. Basically like a really strong downforce of wind. There was nothing micro about it. We had winds up to, I think, 112 miles per hour that night. And it went on for several hours in the middle of the night. And of course, this was back in the mid-90s. Cell phones weren't a thing. Like, some people had them, but they weren't, in everyone's pockets. People, if you had a house phone and it was cordless, you had no way to communicate with anybody because we lost power. Some places for a few days, some places for a few weeks, into the hundreds of thousands. And I can remember very, very, very vividly, it was like the second or third day without power, walking over to the PNC, and the vestibule where they normally have the carts had no carts in it. They pulled them all into the store, and they had just tables out where you could buy like canned goods and bread and stuff like that with cash only. And it was the weirdest thing ever. Luckily, we had food around from grocery shopping recently, but had things not opened back up soon, we would have run out. And there was no way of communicating. If you couldn't walk there, you couldn't get there because there were so many trees in all the roads. They had people, I think they had people from pretty much all down the coast come up to work on the lines and everything because of all the power outages that existed. I mean, there was so much damage. There was a few people did die. I'm not sure what the body count was, but I think it was around 5 to 10-ish.
Dang.
So it was a really big deal. It took a long time to recover. Luckily, where I lived was on the same power lines as a police department and a fire department. So we got our power back within 3 days because we were on like one of those priority lines that needed to get back up to help people. But people who lived further out, as most of us do now, they were 2 to 3 weeks without power. And I just think about if something like that happened today where we're even more reliant on technology than we were back then,
we'd be in trouble.
Would just be absolutely shell-shocked as to what they were facing. And you've seen the stupidity just with COVID and what people are doing. Like, oh my God, what if I can't wipe my butt? I need to get all of the toilet paper. Like, that's the mindset we're dealing with.
That's the last thing I'm going for. I use a wet rag.
Buy a bidet.
Put up an old T-shirt.
Wet rag, wet T-shirt.
Right?
Screw
You can go wash it in the sink or with that little spray nozzle.
Give me a spray bottle.
Freak out bag.
That's a bidet.
Super soaker.
That was the first thing I bought, guys. When all this started, and I knew it was going to hit the fan after the dreams and everything, and when I saw it coming, that was the first thing I ordered was a bidet for my toilet. I said, I am not fighting people for toilet paper. Not going to happen. And a bidet is so much cleaner. Guys, it's $35 on Amazon. Get one. You're not going to regret it.
Okay, so another question I have.
What ran out and knowing, like watching what people did these past 2 years, knowing the mindsets of most of these people, if we actually had a crisis like that happen now, it would be a literal shit show.
It would.
So
absolutely, I agree.
You brought up your Norse pagan, and I was watching some of Be Free Inside, what he brought up about the part in y'all. I don't know if y'all have the same beliefs in Norse paganism, but it was something similar to the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And somebody was I can't remember the name, but you were talking about they were going to fight. They had to fight Loki, and there was a number of things. So there is a similarity there in our beliefs. Is that something that you look for happening? That this may be part of it?
I'm not sure which video you're talking about for context, but are you referring to as far as like the Four Horsemen coming?
Yeah.
Is that kind of...
Well, he likened it to that, and he said that it wasn't an original idea, and that's happened in other religions. When Christian missionaries would go out to other areas, they would encounter people that had a similar story set to what they were talking about with Christ. And he was saying that the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, he was talking about, I'm not sure what video it was, but I know he was talking about being Norse pagan. He was talking about what, he believed. And I started going through watching a lot of what he had said. And he brought that up. And that was very kind of intriguing and interesting to me, knowing that they had, he had said that they had that belief for that many years, that there was going to be an end. And I didn't know if that was something prevalent in y'all's belief of an end.
I was a Norse pagan as well up until the age of 17, when I literally had dreams that were Bible verses, when I believed that the Bible was just a book created by kings to control their people. What is it called again? I'm lacking the word for it because it's been a very long time, but it's not Armageddon. What do you guys call it? Ragnarok. Thank
okay.
you.
Oh, that's the movie. That makes more sense now.
Dennis, I'm going to fall off here real quick. You can re-add me because everyone is literally echoing, bro, and it is so hard.
Okay. All right, bud.
Is it echoing for everyone in the audience?
No, that happens when you lag and you end up watching the live stream while you're also in it, so you get to see the live feed of being in it.
Spears Outdoors, Life with Derek, good to see you.
What's broadcasting to everyone else.
Makes sense.
Saying I got more comments, but it's not showing them to me now. I may be the lag.
Derek is in here. See Derek?
There he is. Yes, I hollered at him. Prepper Nation, I'm gonna send you the invite again, and you can come up. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to pry too much into your belief system, but Danny has had the same belief system. But that interested me that we had a similar belief. And that also, there's that similar belief in a lot of different religions about a global flood and things of that nature. So I did want to ask about that. So Prepper Nation.
What's really interesting is, like the Tower of Babel is a thing, right? That we all used to speak the same language, have the same beliefs, and they were all divided. And what's ridiculous to me is that people can take that division and use it against each other instead of using it to come together. And I feel like that's such a lost art that people can't just be like, I'm Norse pagan, you're Christian, you're Baptist. whatever, that doesn't matter. Do you have my back and do I have yours? That's the important part that people keep forgetting. They think that everyone has to have the exact same opinions and beliefs as they do, and that there's nothing fun in that. There's nothing that's going to create conversations that create progress if we're all already exactly the same.
Yeah.
We should celebrate each other's differences, learn from it, but still respect each other as people.
My thoughts are this, faith is faith. So you're sold on your faith. I'm sold on my faith. That's the whole point of faith to me. But I don't just, I may not believe what you believe. And I've said this, and Derek's agreed with it when we're doing Clapper. I've got different people coming from every side of the track. I got LGBTQ. I've even got Antifa followers on here. They may be just wanting to get my guns eventually or whatever. But I lost them all, y'all, when I was out kayaking, and the cart carried them off. But I'm just going to say this, I believe in people. I believe in you. I may not believe like you, but I believe in you. And I may not agree with that, and I may agree with this, but at the end of the day, we're all here together, and I don't believe my job as a Christian is to beat you down and to say you got to believe like I believe. You're not going to. So that's countermanded to my goals.
Well, and as a Christian, for us, it's, Jesus hung out with the people that you wouldn't expect a Christian to hang out with to begin with, if that makes sense. Like, people have this very stereotypical version of what Christianity should be in their minds, and then they go overboard with it.
It's pharisaical.
When you look at the world, like, we follow Jesus, so Jesus, he hung out with all of the people that you wouldn't expect him to hang out with. So that's I don't judge anybody.
Jesus hung out with everybody, and that's
energy.
That's what I feel like.
If you get good energy back, then we're friends.
Yeah, we got to, especially in the nation that we're seeing now, where they have used our religions, they've used Christianity, they've used a lot of different things to divide us down certain lines.
Oh, yeah.
Even on each side of the political realm, you've got people that would come against one another. So it would just be a jumbled mess. They want it that way, so when they come in, we'll just start taking whatever we want, and none of them get along enough to stop us.
A house divided cannot stand.
Exactly, and that's a general rule.
The problem is power. Exactly, and the power, or the problem is when, like, someone speaks their truth, their own truth, and then someone else gets offended by it and becomes the aggressor. That's when there's an issue. Everyone should be able to speak freely, express themselves the way that they see the world, because everyone's perspective and everyone's mind are different. It comes down to being able to acknowledge each other, but not necessarily have to beat each other.
Exactly. Now, if y'all lose me,
exactly.
I am
religion
running low on power.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Prepper Nation.
Is used as a weapon just as much as what?
I was going to say, you go ahead, brother.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, religion has been used as a weapon for basically since, I don't even know, probably since the beginning.
Since all this time, yeah.
Well, the devil's smart.
It's done just as much, if not more, harm than good. And I'm religious, but I have a personal relationship with God. I don't seek outside entities to do so, right? And
me too.
There's a lot of things that we started like doing research on, and the translation of the original Hebrew, right? Verse King James, verse New Testament, verse, and it just fans out. And the further it goes, the more division it creates. And like I've tried to corner Dennis a couple of times in his little lives on here to ask him about, like, all right, so in the Hebrew Bible, right, there is no mention or teachings of the devil. There's zero. And you guys, like, I encourage you guys to go and look it up and read, right? That's only gets brought in the King James version and thereafter, right? So,
but there is a mention of evil.
Yeah, there is
There
this
is-
mention
there
of
is
Satan,
evil, though.
which is a general.
But evil is not the devil, right? Like you can be evil just in
The opposite
one
of
act
good.
alone.
So
Right,
in
so-
the Septuagint, and in that, in the beginning, during the Genesis translation, and it's talking about the snake. That is now is that in the Septuagint? Or are you saying that's not in the original Hebrew text?
Yeah, so as far as I've come across, I haven't found anything, right? And there's it's actually a fairly common research topic, and as far as I know, nobody else has really found anything, right? They use it as control. They use it as fear.
Mm-hmm.
The serpent.
The serpent
is the first appearance of the devil in the Bible,
first
and that is
appearance
definitely in the Hebrew Bible.
Deception. So also in the book of Job, which is Superman's the Hebrew Bible, we see the mention of Satan coming before God when the sons of God come for him. And so I'm not, as far as the devil goes, I do feel like there's a certain thing called sin that is defined through the law. Now, I don't feel like any of us can.
Right.
I don't feel like any of us can do it on our own. I feel like even when we're doing our best, there's probably something we're doing wrong. Hey, Liz Ventures, good to see you. But I'm not going to push that on you or Riley or Danny. That is something personally I work on. I do believe firmly in the plank in my eye is what I need to focus on. And so, like I said, I'm not here for spiritual debate because I don't know everything, but I do know what I believe. And as long as you know what you believe and I know what I believe, we're gonna draw at that. That's the way I look at it. Because you're not gonna change me, and I'm not gonna change you with debate. Go ahead, Riley. I'm sorry.
Be decent. You don't have to believe in anything. Like, it doesn't matter. Just, are you a decent person to me? Am I a decent person to you?
Yeah.
Hey, Mountains Desert
That's what
Beaches.
matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well,
That's right.
I believe if I believe what I believe in the Bible, what I've read, what I've studied, and I do believe in, like I read a King James Bible. I have read Hebrew translations. I have read a lot of different translations. I like the eloquence in the King James. People don't like it. But what I do see, what I believe.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I also read a New King James version, and the NIV and New World Trend. I've read them all. But the basic message that if I believe that, then I'm going to show love to my neighbor, because love is the most important thing. Because I can do a whole bunch of different things, but in 1 Corinthians it says if you don't got love, that don't mean anything. And love's not romantic love; it's a genuine care for your fellow man. And that's where I'm going to stand in it at the end. And even in my prep, and a lot of preppers are not going to agree with me, but there's going to be folks I'm going to help as I can. And that if I believe in the love feast that agape love describes there, then I'm going to do my best to help everybody as God provides. Even if it looks like my stocks are going down, well, if I really believe in him, he's at some point going to help me with that. So that's my point. I'm not saying anybody here has to believe that. That's where I'm focused. And I may not believe like y'all, but y'all are good folks as far as us doing the prepping, as us doing getting that message out there to help folks like I feel led to do. And that, so you're going to be on here because you got good information. Now, Prepper Nation, I will ask you this.
Many different people from many different religions have all had some kind of calling, whether it was a gut instinct or, just something telling them that they had to prep. I mean, that's an experience that I can say over the past 2 years that everyone that I speak to that follows me says. Is 5 years ago I started feeling like I needed to prepare for something. 10 years ago, whatever it is, at some point each one of us had that awakening where it was like, we need to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
And
that's one thing that we need to see in each other and cling on to that,
because
we are the people who are going to prepare the world.
That's something specifically, Prepper Nation, I want to corner you on. Since you cornered me, hey, Double N Glenn, it's good to see you, my friend. I want to ask you this. Did you feel a call? Did you feel an urge? Did you feel an unction? Did you feel some kind of, hey, something's coming? Did the hair raise up on the back of your neck? Did you hackle up?
With when it comes to prepping or what?
Well,
what are you talking about?
that there is an event, that there's a breakdown, there's something you need to prepare for. Did you have that
What
feeling?
got you into it?
Yeah,
We've been
well,
seeing
I
it.
mean, my background brought me into it. My life experiences for the United States government and private contracting, just really that stuff in general, right? So seeing how evil the world is, right? A lot of people will be like, well, you got a doom and gloom view on a lot of things, and I just call that reality, right? Like it's not doom and gloom. It's just really what's happening around you. And like where I was going with the religion thing or whatever is people get tunnel vision.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with the whole devil thing and the devil and God and two sides and everything. They get very tunnel vision, and they don't actually know what the heck's going on around them.
Yeah. So heavenly minded, they're no earthly good.
Ignorance. What'd you say?
So heavenly minded, they're no earthly good.
Well, no, I mean, there's plenty of good. I'm just saying, like, just out there, like, how cruel this world is, right? There's good in this world, but the cruel can swallow you up.
Yeah.
Faster than the good can lift you up.
That's
right? Like,
yep.
Unfortunately.
And sometimes you've got to make a choice to get your view on the bigger picture, and I've had to do that. I've had a lot of bad happen lately around me, some directly to me. Doing what I'm doing now, doing the Sunday devotions. It seems like more and more people have come against me, not liking what I'm doing. I've had people report me for hateful acts because of what I'm doing with the Sunday devotions. So I've had to get my mind off that and focus on the go. We've had a lot of trolls come in here. I could focus on that, or I can just kick them out. I could argue with them. There's different views. I could focus on that, or what is my real call here? What is my real objective? And I hope that answers a little bit of what you're talking about.
And I guess my real call on TikTok when it comes to prepping, without dropping names, there was a lot of poor false information that was out there swirling around that was going to get people hurt. And that's when I had to put my foot down, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like, this is...
So
you're going to end up hanging yourself from your own shoestrings if you listen to this clown right now, because...
He wants a TV deal, like, at the end of the day. I'm just gonna...
If you're not putting out good info...
He wants to live out Fallout.
Standing up on my neck, Dennis, was 3 minutes into that live, and I was going, this guy's going to get someone killed.
Okay. Truth be told, we've had the same conversation, and I go directly to him on that, and that's the most I can do without causing harm. Am I going to have an ability to reach those people by constantly attacking him? Because right now we're in talks that I can put info on his platform. To me, I feel like that's more important than coming directly at him, because those people can be weaponized back at me, and then that's going to hinder what I'm doing too. Will I have an ability to help him?
I feel like people shouldn't really police each other either. I feel like people shouldn't police each other, because I think if people are intelligent enough and they get some advice from the internet, I think everyone should actually do a secondary research to check into it.
Due diligence.
I can give you my ideas, but do your due diligence and look it up for yourself,
People are so invested in their own belief system that they are so shaken by being challenged that they don't actively seek out to challenge themselves anymore.
And that's what happened in that. That's what happened in that situation. And
more critical thinking.
Right.
One thing,
we're just blindly following because of a common belief system.
One thing I've realized,
actually protecting themselves.
Yeah. One thing I've realized with that situation itself, there's nothing I can do except sit there and try to inject some real knowledge. If there's a big platform there, I'm going to try to get there and say something, and eventually they're going to like, well, I want to go over there and look at that and see what he's got to say too. And that's the only thing that I can do that is what I feel as we move forward that is going to be productive, because the infighting and the attacks didn't seem to be working.
It doesn't work. I've been on TikTok for all 3 years, and I have seen people absolutely destroy each other's lives. I've seen people show up to other people's houses and sexually assault them. I've seen everything on this app. I've seen people get into really bad car accidents while they're in lives. Like, I've seen it all. Yeah. It's not worth it. When I feel that there's going to be...
I was one of his
Don't let him poke
I didn't attack him, right? Like, it wasn't an attack thing. It was
He'll follow him out.
I basically did what Dennis did. This was before the falling out with the Southwest Prepper group. This was well before that, right? Like, and I was one of
because I barely know any of you.
Yeah, and like it was, I was just like, hey man, you're saying something. So, well, I'm just out here experimenting, and I said, well, you're just you're teaching it like it's already a proven fact or deal. Right? You're not saying, hey, come experiment with me, and if I fry my face off, we're all going to laugh for 5 seconds and know not to do that
again.
And so, again, that comes back to I can only control what I'm doing. I can't shut him down. I can't make him listen. I can't stop what he's doing. He's got to the point where he's big enough. Yeah, all these folks is listening, and they're going to have. At that point, I can scream and yell as much as I want, or then I can kind of work my way in there and help him to put good info out. I can go and message him. You know, again, it went south when you were trying to do that, Prepper Nation, and hopefully I'm praying it won't, but it may with what I'm doing.
I mean, Doomsday
when I stopped helping, or actually when that big account got banned of mine, which was the moderator account or whatever on his. As soon as that went and I stopped showing back up and around or whatever, I come back and his demeanor's totally changed again to where now you call him Prep Poppy, and
that's just social media, though.
Yeah.
Social media all the time.
He also says stuff, he's like, I know this because I'm the Prep Poppy, right? And there's truly people out there, either one, we're having a communication issue not communication issue, sorry. Like, we're either giving people too much credit or we're not giving them enough credit, right? Because there's people on there that literally see him as like a demigod.
Yeah.
And that's TikTok. The only that's what happens.
Yeah, like it's
any kind of
followers.
Well, there's people on Clapper.
I want to cut in here and tell a story. Like a little cautionary tale, okay? Because I've been on here for 3 years. We all started as the homesteaders, right? Farmers, the gardeners, we all wound up on this app at the same time. And we were all really, really good friends. And then all of a sudden, people started getting really competitive with each other, very catty with each other. It was like breaking off into cliques, and then, we're not going to support this person, but we are going to support that person. One of these people was actually a sexual predator who had been in jail and convicted of raping a child under the age of 10. And his account wound up being 400,000 people that were following him, including children. And the situation was very difficult. It wound up being really, really, really hard. And at that point, we were like, okay, we could deal with everything else on here, but this guy is dangerous. He's telling people to come out to his farm in Arizona in the middle of nowhere. He's getting the addresses of children so that he could sell them products. And it really actually took a lot of people to get rid of that person.
Yeah.
We were reporting it to TikTok, even with screenshots of his mugshots, the articles, and they did not care until another creator had gone public and said, hey, is this you? With his mugshot there. Like, is this you? Is that you, the same guy?
We had that happening on Clapper as well.
Stand up. That was the only thing that made TikTok stand up and say something.
Yeah.
And you would think that everyone around you would agree with you that this guy needs to be taken off. But that didn't happen in our group.
See,
our group separated us because some people were like, he can change, we're going to give him another shot, and other people were like, no, he assaulted a child, this is not okay. And that kind of stuff happens on here all the time, and I say, if you have an opportunity to back out of a bad situation, back out of it.
Yeah.
But if you know that someone they need to be in jail, or they should not be around children, or they're soliciting or something like that, that is the only situation where I will actually report and really try to get somebody taken down. Other than that, live and let live, because everyone's on here making mistakes, and it's not necessarily because the person's a really cool person. I think that his algorithm is actually really good because of how fast he moves his videos. And how fast he moves his head. He knows, and I can tell by watching him, that the quicker your movements are when you have your videos, the more they get air, the more they go on the For You page.
So explain that to us, because my thing is I ain't big enough to stop it. Prepper Nation, you got, look, what sounds to me like happened with you is when you did that, you had a mass reporting bot hit your account. And I'm not going to say that was him, but I am going to say it could have possibly. I don't know. So, Danny, explain what you're talking about.
I got bananaed because of the Kyle Rittenhouse case. That's why I got bananaed.
Okay, and that goes back to my things that are countermanded to what I'm trying to do. I can't, if I keep going political, I can't keep getting people prepared because the politics are going to get me bananaed. And then I've lost all the work I put into it. Say that again.
Politics are why we need to prepare.
That is the reason we need to prepare.
At the end of the day, you got to choose one side or the other.
I've chosen my side. And you know I'm playing the long game because I can't get the message out there if I'm getting bananaed. And that's also why,
one time.
Danny, you lost your 50,000 followers and your voice because of a video you posted. You told me about that. So this is the thing. I'm playing the long game. Look at what they did back in the 50s and 60s. They played the long game, and now everybody has to listen to them. Everybody, they have control of everything, and they're almost unstoppable. I'm not saying they're stoppable. I'm saying, are you playing the long game? You can't do anything about what you're wanting to do something about because of the way things are. How are we going to change the way things are?
I'm playing the quality game.
Yeah.
I'm playing the quality game. So I had 50,000 followers, and that was a big deal, but I knew at some point that I was going to be deleted with it. Mm-hmm. I started out tiptoeing. I started out with just showing gardening content, prepping content, all of that kind of stuff. And I said, I would say every day, I don't care about your politics. This cause is not right or left. After a while, the left started pushing me to the right more and more, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because just because things that I said, my genuine personality, my views of the world, it didn't blend with what they wanted after a while. And I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like, oh, I'm kind of in the middle, and then you get pushed over to the right, and then they're like, wait, why are you siding with the right? It's like, because you guys did that to me. You guys did that, right?
I may get bananaed simply because I won't budge on certain things. It's like I won't budge on my faith. I'm going to pray. Yeah, and Riley, I hope you don't take offense when I do the prayers at the end, but I always give the opportunity for folks to leave if it is offensive, because my friend Kevin, now he's an atheist, but he stayed in at times for church services. He stayed in at times for, hey, conservative, Viking, it's good to see you. He stayed in for prayer time. But then there's times when he says, I got to get out of here because I don't agree with this. And we have that agreement. And Riley, I hope you understand.
That's fine.
We've got that agreement. You being Norse Pagan, if you don't feel like you want to be a part of that.
Until your religion infringes on me, I don't have a problem with it. Like your beliefs are your beliefs. That's not offensive to me.
Okay.
Being offended is absolutely a choice.
Yeah.
You have your beliefs, I have mine. Unless you're like actively trying to oppress me with your beliefs, I have no problem with that.
And hopefully,
it's not for me.
I don't come off that way. Again, like I said, faith is faith. You believe believe what you believe.
Here,
I believe what I believe.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
my mother-in-law's
okay to
here.
have open discussions about the differences.
We're on the live.
That's how you
Yeah, I
grow.
know.
Y'all can keep the conversation
That's
going.
how you grow.
Hey, Carson. It's my nephew just come here.
I can.
Yeah, he's cool. We're gonna go camping tonight. Yeah, we're sleeping outside. It's just gonna be a little cool.
Yeah,
We
you
got
had your stand out the other night.
Started snowing again.
With that tail pipe problem.
People have forgotten how to live and let live.
Yeah.
And it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have discussions, civil discussions about it where you respect each other
Okay, we'll see.
and understand where the other person is coming from. That's
Brantley,
totally
get the
fine.
dough. Make sure you back
agree.
up. Do you use bathrooms?
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. I'm sorry we got
Kids are going to come in that door. There are like 15 kids just trotted in behind you.
my mother-in-law, my stepmother-in-law's here. We'll see you later. I didn't mean for him to close that door on you. Trying not to be rude to my stepmother-in-law. That's my father-in-law's wife, Tammy. So just
I feel
let y'all
like the
know.
goal should be to understand each other, not to convert each other.
So I did want to make that clear. I don't want you to feel forced to have to be in here. I won't take offense if you do leave during the prayer. That's always a thing. And I'm going to say this. Here's my thing. And if y'all disagree with it, then you disagree with it. All right. So I've got affiliates. I feel like a lot of people get on him for the knickknacks. And yes, I want to provide good equipment. I've made mistakes. There are things I feel like I can learn from him, but I do feel like there are dangerous things. That's why I told him, I said, dude, don't be telling people to put the things in the Coleman equipment, the diesel in the Coleman equipment. Don't be telling people to do certain things. I will say, what I'm going to say to him. If he don't like it and blocks me, well, I mean, it is what it is. Heck, he blocked Appalachian Prepper after you and him got into it, and Appalachian Prepper was trying to help him. He may block me eventually. I don't know. But the whole thing with this.
The whole death threats over cast iron is ridiculous. Like, that's not working together.
Death threats over cast iron.
Yeah, Nate Petrosky put out a video with cast iron and how he washes them, and Appalachian Prepper didn't agree with him, and they got into it, and Appalachian Prepper threatened Nate and his entire family multiple times, and it was reported multiple times, and TikTok didn't take it down. So we kept posting about it. And, that's just, that's not prepping content. That's not helping each other. You wash your cast iron different. Is that life and death? No.
I put it in a fire.
Wash their cast iron different? Yes.
Wow.
Are you welcome to share how you wash your cast iron? Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody have to conform to your idea?
Yeah.
No. And so right after that was when he came after me for not wanting an FCC license to operate ham, because I'm just like, no, I'm not going on another list. Then he came after me and started saying a bunch of shit at me, and he kept stitching me, which of course TikTok said was not harassment for what he was saying about me, and when he stitched me, when he kept calling me childish, immature, and let me grow up, because I had different opinions than him.
Play with him and then put him up.
That is not the kind of person that I want to be around. That is not the kind of person that I can work with, because it's his way or the highway.
And that I get that vibe.
Block, delete.
I've got that vibe from him at times. The Appalachian Prepper, but then at times we've agreed on things. So this is where I go. I say, just because y'all are doing something, I'm not going to do it too, because at the same time, he's got a lot of knowledge on foraging.
He does, and it's soured by his childish attempts to attack everybody who doesn't conform to how he does things.
And
he could have a decent channel if he just kept it to prepping without the middle school drama.
Yeah.
But because he keeps attacking people, and he's it seems like he's trying to clout chase off of Meal Team 6.
Might be.
Is the vibe that I'm getting. That's what it seems like to me.
So
if he would just post prepping content, he would be a great channel.
Yeah.
But he gets so personal with every single person in this community that he doesn't like, and it's a bad look. It's a bad look, and I can't get behind it.
Here's the thing that happened there. He got blocked anyway. So here's my thing, and y'all agree with me or you don't. I'm playing the long game. I do have products that I am going to try to sell, because that's just what we do. That is where me and Prep Pappy come in, because he has somehow monetized himself to the point where he is actually making a living off of it. So
He thinks he is. Don't buy it.
okay,
Do not buy it.
I mean,
That-
He's saying
I
he
think
does.
his wife making his living. I'm not gonna lie about
He
that.
said he maxed out her credit cards a couple months ago when he wanted the RV. And
okay.
he said he maxed out her cards, so he was
But
trying
it-
to crowdsource from TikTok to buy a $3,000 RV.
So has he paid that
So
off
if he had
though?
money saved, this was just a couple months ago. So if he had money saved, why did he need money to buy the RV? Which he didn't
Thanks,
buy because he would have posted about it. And then he freaked out when I pointed out that he's sitting there preaching OPSEC, but yet he was very easy to find. I never doxed him. I have his address because he put out information that allowed people to find him. I pointed that out without doxing him. I took pictures from the internet and put them elsewhere on the internet
Yeah.
without context. That's it.
So
That's not doxing.
I prepped him prepared.
Instead of acknowledging his faults and where he fucked up, he victimized himself and decided he needed to go out and spend more money that he said he didn't have. I believe he's deleted that video since, where he said he spent money he didn't have because his wife was freaking out because apparently I'm attacking him. I'm still waiting to see where those threats were because I said nothing. I posted pictures of your house. Like, you post your house all the time. So he said he maxed out his cards. He spent money he didn't have, and then all of a sudden after that, that was what, 3-4 weeks ago? Now he has a bunch of money saved up, and his Patreon information, you can find out what he's made. The last month that I saw it had data was November, and it was like $30 or $60 a month is what he made.
So
from
some
Patreon.
of what he's saying may be. Oh, is that Danny? She had to drop down. Pallet cattle, man. Danny had to drop down. So this is what I'm going to say on this. I try to be neutral where everybody can come in here and say their piece. But you're going to understand what I'll make sure everybody understands. I let most of you say your piece. He may block me because of it. So then that'll be done. But as long as I can maintain communication with him to try and do some good, I'm going to do it. I am going to be monetizing things because they made the offers and I found people that were willing, because that does help me do what I do. And if one day I can do this full time, that will be what I try to do. I want everybody to understand this because you may not want to affiliate with me because of that situation. I will try to make
monetize whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're not forcing
boys.
it to buy it.
Y'all are gonna have to go in there. I'm talking. I can't hear them. But y'all,
And that's
well,
a huge
go in
issue
on the
right
car.
now.
Y'all can't come in here talking while I'm doing the live
Oh,
stream.
you're monetized. Like, who cares if you're monetized or not?
Yeah.
I don't get what that's an attack upon the prepper community, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if any of y'all
I
have
am
seen
talking
like the
to
recent
you.
thing
I'm
going on
talking
with
to you.
Howitzer and Church of Patriots, where Church
For a
of
little while,
Patriots
then you
decided
can go
that he
back
was
and
going to
see.
attack Howitzer and have his goons mass support him because he doesn't support Redemption Tactical, which Howitzer is affiliate marketing with. Instead of going after Redemption Tactical, he goes after Howitzer. And Howitzer had an account with 230,000 people, which he used to organize charities to help do good. He helped out in Kentucky.
Go get Brady.
For
Go get
World War
Brady.
II vets who needed his house. Like, he
I'm
was
sorry,
doing
y'all.
good work. But because
I'm training a
the church
puppy
didn't
right now.
like his affiliate marketing, they mass reported him. And it's ridiculous that people, like, there's this cancel culture because you have affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's forcing you to buy it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
Say your piece. I don't like it, and move on.
Yeah. So I've had
These
people get.
people are just, they're not needed.
I can't talk. Please go clean the poop up. Y'all forgive me. I've got 10 different things coming. Braden, please clean the poop up. Put the dog back in the cage. You get the dog and put him in the cage. We're crate.
I got poop on my toe.
Oh, I'm about to have to end it, folks. We are crate training a puppy. So, in the middle of this, we have the dog trapping in the floor after he just crapped outside. So, he goes back in the cage. So, he understands, hopefully. You don't poop in our floor.
It's 2022. If I don't like what you're selling, I won't buy it.
So,
That's what's going to happen at the end of the day.
okay. And see, that's where I agree.
Yeah.
I am trying to make, I eventually would like to do this full time, but if I don't, at the end of the day, I got a job. Would I like to monetize it through affiliate marketing, selling things that I like? Yes. If you don't want to buy them, like I said, you don't got to. And Riley, thanks for that. Prepper Nation, Did you agree with that or disagree? I couldn't tell. The dog was crapping in the floor.
No, I agree with it. Like, I mean, there's things that I'm in line to monetize for. I just haven't pulled the strings or trigger on it yet. For the simple fact
We'll see you there, Mountain.
I'm not ready to live up to my end of that yet, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got so many irons in the fire with my business stuff and everything going that I can't honor it on my side completely right now. That's why you don't see me trying to grow like I had.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Around 100,000 followers or whatever, right? Close to, somewhere around there. And I think this account's like 12 or 1,300 followers. I haven't been pushing it, right? Like, and that's just because I can't do it near as frequent as I need to live up to my end of the bargain, right? So, am I against monetizing? No, that's why I was going. I don't know why people use that as a diss, and I'll use this, I guess, right now to call out a couple individuals, and I'm not going to say them by their names. But it was people directly going against Luke for being monetized, and they made videos about it and everything else, right? And then turn around and tried to sell dehydrated freezer food. And I'm like, dude,
are you attacking me? I never came against it.
Y'all don't make no sense. You're literally trying to shame someone for something you do.
See,
but I think a big component in that is the person behind it, because there are people who will do whatever they can to make a penny off of any person. They will sell out for anything.
And that's true.
And then there are people on here who genuinely, like, they aren't even monetized yet. They're like, this is a product that I love, and they catch the attention of the whatever company makes that product. They're like, hey, do you want to do some marketing? And then, and it's like, there's people who are genuine with what they actually believe in, that they're like, this is a good product. I believe in this. This works. I want to show you guys because I love it. I want you guys to love it. And then there's people who are like, I'm just going to keep selling you shit because I want to make money. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to keep selling shit. There's two different kinds of people that monetize. And I think, like, that's a big factor in the current issue.
One of the things, and then I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let Pallet Cabin Man get a word in here. He's up here just laughing, but the thing is, Olight, before I got them, I was already, had some of their products. Boys, look, y'all gonna have to quit talking. I can't do what I'm doing. Go in the room. We'll clean it up. Braden, I told you to work on cleaning the poop up. I'm on live stream. All right, then Braden, quit making a big deal, and y'all go in yonder. Jesus help us! All right, so Olight, I was already using their products, and a lot of preppers, had started. Some of y'all don't like them. Are there better lights? There may be. But that was one of my first sponsors, and they sent me products, and I found a lot of good uses for them. Now, Ready-wise, I had done heard of them. I had had some of their products, and then they contacted me, and, people might say I sold out or I didn't, but they offered a deal, and I tried their food. It was good. And so this is the one piece of advice I can give everybody. Do not market something you've not tested. Do not take money from people you really don't believe in. Test products if you're drop shipping them. Because I ordered things that I had on my drop shipping store when I had one, and then I realized real quick, this is garbage, so I pulled it off. And then I got rid of the drop ship store because that just didn't work.
And define test, because I'm going to pick on Luke again. Testing power tools in your basement by hooking
with an active propane leak
was not testing tools.
Lord help us.
With an active propane leak is the most important part.
I bought in. Thank you, Doomsday. I hope that's good.
What did you say?
Doomsday Podcast says that I didn't sell out. I bought in. I hope that's a compliment. But, all right, now, Pallet Cabin Man, I'm going to go ahead. I meant to get you in here. So what are your thoughts on the whole monetizing, prepping, or any other thoughts?
I follow a few people, and, and there's a few that I trust. Actually, you're one of them, Be Free, be free Trump site, you know.
He's got a lot of good
That
stuff.
guy, yeah. And so what you're saying is you're using this stuff, and I trust today, so that caused me to purchase it. These flash fails that you see all the time, scrolling, and all of a sudden you're trying to dunk on you, and then you think, oh, look how sharp it is. Well, yeah, I can sharpen a cutting. No, if he is sharp as a guy, something or trust that we're following, listening to it today. I watch a lot of your videos. It's like, well, I trust what you have to say because you're not just, you know. And if
Somebody got, hold on, man. Somebody got a dog barking?
I do not.
No. He's just breaking up, I think.
Okay.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah,
If
we're.
you don't have a headset, you get the feedback when you're on speaker, and it can cause some extra interference.
Well, then I'm useless at this.
Headsets.
No. Nobody's useless at it.
Now I'm dog barking.
So
Right.
I always tell people, do your own tests. If you like a product, buy the cheap part of it, test it out. If you want to go big, this is like $100. But I can say I threw it in jars of water and watched it keep running multiple videos because I've had to do 3 or 4 videos at one time to put on different platforms because they will not let you repost to other platforms and get traction from TikTok or Clapper. And it does hold a good charge. It's bright. If you do, some of these things could possibly have an issue. There's been a lot of people had issues with old lights, but there's a lot of people had issues with other brands. Is there better tasting food than Ready Wise? Maybe. But I like it. It works.
Yeah, but then, you know, the other thing with, you know, you're promoting something, like if I don't know what kind of knife to buy or what kind of light, like you just said, hopefully I'm not checking out here. Then I would go with what you have to say. I do have Olight flashlights, you know, and they work great. So, but if somebody didn't know, it's a great resource to at least try to start out on something.
Yeah.
You know, you're not pushing, you know,
And that goes back.
Lights.
All right, Riley.
Trustworthiness of the person pushing it.
Yeah.
It says like, this is I've tested it. I'm promoting it because I believe in it, not I'm promoting it because I'll do anything to make a buck.
Yeah. See, that is the thing.
Luke will be like, these knives are sharp, right? You know, he was saying that stuff, and I was like, stop saying this stuff, dude. This is literally, you buy these at Walmart by the 13-pack for $11.99.
But if you actually try to use it as a knife,
it's going to fold up, and the only thing it's going to cut your finger, right? Like, no, they're sharp. And I'm like, well, so is paper, man. Like, one of the worst cuts in the world is to get cut by paper, bro.
Cardboard cuts, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
It's not. And that's where Dennis and I go at it or whatever for, you know, I'm the anti-knick-knack, right? So, like, if you're gonna spend money on a good axe and skip 12 knickknacks. Save the money on knickknacks and buy that quality axe or buy that, you know, oh, look, now he's going to get us all bananaed over here.
So no, they let me get away with this.
It's not a weapon, it's a tool.
It's a tool.
Oh.
I'm able to put knives on there. So let me ask you.
It's an airsoft axe.
This is airsoft. Yes. This is a marbles. What do you feel about a marbles axe?
I got the same one. I think it's great. I just got it, and actually I did a video showing it, you know, 15-second clip. It got 0 views in like 3 hours.
Okay.
I know they shut it down.
See,
they've been doing that with leaving shit in processing, and if you like went to another account and linked your account, you would not see that video. I think it's actually a server issue because I have a lot of times where I'm on solid Wi-Fi and I go to like click a comment and it says video cannot be loaded or whatever, shit like that. Or I go to post a comment, it says cannot post comment.
Some accounts.
When you get these videos, it'll sit in processing forever. So I honestly think they just can't handle the traffic on the website anymore. But that's how you can check to see if it's actually up or not. You can either send it to somebody and they'll either be able to see it or they won't. or you can go to a different account and check your account. Because I had to sit there for 7 hours a couple days ago.
Go in there and put your clothes on.
It's actually pretty common, and it's not that you're being targeted. It's just it's random videos. Like you can keep.
Hey Bradley, give him some clothes.
1 out of every 5 will actually go live right away, and the rest will sit in processing until they make it.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm about to have to get off. My kids.
Back to that Marvel's ads. I got it. And $25. I think I paid $25 for it. You know.
How much did you pay for yours?
Like $25 off of Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Yeah, and see, that's about what I sent these out to supporters.
Right? That's a camp axe, right?
Oh yeah, it's basically one. Yeah.
Yep.
Carbon steel head.
It's good.
Yeah, it's got a hickory handle, so
yeah,
it's. Don't I can say I've had good luck with it. I've worked with it. I think what a lot of tattoo bearded chubby man here is saying is that I go into the thrift stores and buy junk as well. He classifies.
No, that's not even out. That just because it's old or cheap doesn't mean it's junk. What I'm saying is there's people on here that are monetizing stainless steel hatchets and axes.
Oh,
okay.
No, I won't do that.
That's just idiocracy at its finest. So I'm not picking on you with the knickknack. When I say the knickknacks, I'm picking on other individuals. Where they're just like, well, I'm gonna run my whole house off of a 400-watt roll up solar panel. You know what I mean? And like,
oh my gosh, has that been in the conversation? Oh Lord.
There's been those conversations. So I'm not picking on you when I say knickknacks. When I say knickknacks, it's someone who's like literally going and trying to monetize
themselves I'll be back.
Creating their own Amazon store.
What's going on?
Buying, let's just say, 150 stainless steel hatchets from Harbor Freight. For $6.99 a piece and selling them for $10 plus getting monetization, you know what I mean, or monetization. So I mean, like that's what I go after, and unfortunately, there's individuals on here that do that, right? Yeah, now that's capitalism.
It's like it. Well, I'm not trying to beat this, but this camp axe that he has, it was inexpensive, but it's a good quality. See, and I wouldn't know that unless I had it. And tell somebody, and he says it, but I'm not going to tell you to go on QVC or whatever it's called, Cutlery something corner on the cable, and buy the 150 pack of knives for $50 and say, "Oh, those are awesome," because I couldn't do that. But I agree, some people do, and some people probably buy it from there and then try to resell it, saying how awesome it is.
And some people are really good at just selling stuff like that 150 pack of knives for $50, right? That guy, if he was a good salesperson, he'd be like, "Look, man, you can break this knife 150 times before it stops working."
Right.
I don't know what I'm coming into. I've got a child, just to update you on this current situation, I've got a child taking a bath before we go camping. He's squalling because he said, "Those are somebody else's underwear." I said, "They're underwear. Put them on. You cannot come through here naked." But he's got to have a shower right now because Mama told him to. I said, "We're going in the woods. You're going to have to take one in the morning before church anyway." So he's very persistent. So I'm eventually going to have to end it. But you are right. Things can be made out to be in any way. People can word it and still be telling the truth, but be deceptive. So, this 150 knives for $50. Where did you find that deal at?
Don't tell him. He was gonna go and buy it, bro.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Don't go to the bank on
150 times. That's
what it's like, though. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like comes up to like $1 a knife or some stupid thing.
I mean, think of this, Dennis. Here's the deal. You can break it 150 times, bro, but you only got 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, my friend.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, $50 for a decking cheap. So I'm gonna ask y'all this: do you feel like I am marketing knickknacks with the Olight and the ReadyWise?
No,
Okay.
no, those aren't knickknacks.
Yeah.
You have
What-
quality
Knickknacks are-
items that you demonstrate and actually believe in.
Yeah. Stuff
Knickknacks
I've
are
used.
like Ozark Trail flashlights. That's a knickknack.
So I'll tell y'all this. When I recommend Nalgene or Clean Canteen products for boiling water, I use them, but I don't make money off of them. There's a lot of things I refer. Like I go to the junk store and I get a Clean Canteen, 40-ounce Clean Canteen for $2. And I can, now mind you, the paint's going to have to come off of it while I'm getting it ready for that process. But I have the ability to boil water. And I'm not trying, that is my goal. I want to give you an ability with tested methods, not just by me, but multiple preppers, multiple bushcrafters. I want to give you tested methods, and many people have used these old lights, 100% cotton schmogs. They're just like handkerchiefs, 100% cotton handkerchiefs.
I love those things.
Yeah, many people.
I want it now.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Swiss Army. I don't have an affiliate, but I'm going to tell you, this is one of my top stainless steel knife blades that I know anybody can use and sharpen, and you can get it anywhere in the world. And I don't make no money off that. So.
Yeah,
Right.
but see, you're telling people things that they didn't realize they could do, like with that Olite canteen, It's like, well, I need a pot to boil my water. But no, you had this $2 thing, and it's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't even think about that.
Well, now, if you don't go to the junk store, you're not going to get this for $2. So,
Well,
junk
that's what I'm
stores.
saying.
And then that's why I call it junk, because that's what you call it is, I'm here at the junk store and I bought me this canteen or I bought me this or whatever, right? Like, dude, when I turn my camera up next time you go live, bro, I'm going to show you one of the junk store items that I got. It's like a hammer, knife, machete.
Got a Spax?
One, bro. I don't even know.
No, that's not the junk store. Basically, a junk store here is like yard sale, indoor flea market, thrift store. It's resale items. There's only certain things from the dollar store I'm going to tell you to use for prep. It's going to be garbage bags. It's going to be water. It's going to be beans. The general stuff you can get anywhere. Dollar store doesn't specialize in anything that for prepping that most other stores don't have. I'm just saying a lot of times they have cheaper versions when it comes to food, but it's only so far you can go with that.
Right.
Except the dog bowl.
I mean,
it's either going to be quantity or quality you're sacrificing, so make sure you know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so like you promoting ReadyWise, right? Like most Mylar bagged meals are not good. They are okay.
It's like McDonald's.
Like, right? Yeah, like it. Well, yeah, it's definitely not McDonald's. It's more like Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell. You're just making this sound more appealing to me.
Yeah, I mean, literally, at that point, you're surviving, and it's about calories. It's not about, you know what I mean? That's all that matters. I mean, not everything is going to be a Swedish meatball MRE. We just have to accept that. That's just the bottom line.
It'd be nice if it was.
Yeah, when you're going for longevity, you run out of options eventually. I mean, even with rice.
I mean, especially if you don't have knowledge, you run out of options real quick, and you're stuck eating these boxed foods that are stuck in Mylar bags and stuff. And that's a very good temporary thing. And with my prepper stuff, I'm trying to teach people to, that's only just in case you have to hunker down and let things kind of roll over for a while.
At first 6 months.
You need to have literally a plan in place to harvest your own foods.
And it can't just be hunting and fishing either. I mean, there's a couple city folks that plan on bugging out. You might want to look in to like the 3 chicken system or rabbits. You can transport them. You can keep them alive in your backyard. Now, I know that's not going to be an option for some, but you're not going to be able to fish and hunt your way and forage your way through, forever. You're going to have options. So.
Yeah, and the only way those options are available is through knowledge and not
But here's the other thing, though, I thought of, and because we do have chickens, we have rabbits, we have geese, and all this stuff, but you still have to feed them.
Yep.
So, I mean, we go down to local Rural King and we buy the bag feeds. You know, what do you do when that runs out? You can't feed a rabbit. You run out of hay, or there's no grass in the middle of the winter. So that's something you have to think of too when you're prepping for all this stuff. Is how are you going to feed these animals that are going to feed you?
You got to have salt put up. Salt, not just for yourself, but your rabbits, your animals.
Right.
That's something I'm working on now. Because, see, they put salt in the feed. Now, my brother, you know, I've got connections with local feed makers, and they probably have the equipment to continue growing the crops they're going to need on their property. But not everybody has that option. And like he said,
No.
you need to be. This is why it's important also not to just have that single person plan. You've got to attach yourself to a bigger group eventually. You've got to have skills to take to that group. You cannot come empty handed.
Yeah. I mean, if let's just say if
Hey, Laura, it's good to see you.
A bad scenario happens and the government falls and all that stuff, it don't matter if you have 5,000 acres.
China can roll in and take it.
Yeah, you're back in the Wild West days where it doesn't matter if you paid for it or that's all null and void,
Exactly.
right? Like that's you're gonna the person who's gonna own it is the person not scared to defend it or willing to take it.
Yeah,
that's who's gonna own it.
That's the thing people are not used to is an actual land dispute, an actual like property line dispute where you don't have law enforcement to call or military to help you enforce it. Now, Pally Cabin Man, what was you about to say?
I got to jump up here, but it's nice meeting you all, and
Good to have you
you
on,
guys let me back on here.
Oh yeah.
And,
Well, thank you for coming in.
Bye.
We'll see you, bud. Texas
You have a good
Prepper
day.
Mom. Y'all, I'm about to have to get off here and start getting this camp out ready. We're fixing to go up in the woods behind the house, and I may be able to actually do a video about the sapling rails. I've been busy lately, so I've been having to just rely on what I could fashion with pictures and such. But I've got people that don't realize green wood don't burn. I mean, y'all know green wood is hard to burn, don't y'all?
Most people.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep beating that dead horse, bro.
Because people just don't realize.
You keep beating the dead horse trying to appease the people that can't be appeased. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah,
they
you're
just
right.
don't understand. And it's, I mean, heck, that might be some of Luke's followers. I'm not going to lie.
Probably. One of them said something about. What'd you say?
The ones he didn't buy.
The ones he didn't buy. Well, hey, everybody's buying followers.
Well, that was the one thing I wanted to tell you, Dennis. So if you want to be on the For You page more, all you have to do is just go and click that magic button that just says support your post or whatever, boost your post, and you pay your $12 or whatever it is. And I mean, he's turned it into a business, right? And that's not bad on him. He's doing it. It is what it is, right? People can be jealous or people can learn or people can hate him or they can like it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can do the same thing. If you just set a budget.
That's different. That boosts your post to real people. He actually went out to an outside service and bought spam accounts to follow him, and he admitted that after shit went down with Wildfire Smile.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because the dude has, 400,000 followers, and I've never been in a live with him in the last 6 months that's been over 19 to 30 people.
Yeah. So, I mean,
30?
That's kind of how it is on Clapper. I mean, people think they've got these huge followings, but a lot of them are bot and spam accounts. And we've known this. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I came to grow over here, because 30,000 people here is like you get so much more response and conversation and interaction. I got 140, almost 142,000 followers on Clapper. And yeah, I get a lot of views and a lot of response, but I know some of those bots. Now, Instagram, right now I'm working with a company. They're supposed to be, it's like a monetization company with the clothing company, and they've set me up with somebody that's supposed to be helping me grow. I don't know if they're bots or not. So I may have to just discontinue this because if I don't see, actual people coming in to what I'm doing, then I'm wasting my money, And I could, do what you're talking about, hit the support button on Instagram, hit the support button on, or not support, but advertisement button, promotion button on either one of these. And I may end up having to do that eventually, So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Freedom Prepper Kim, I mean, you really pretty much have it on the head of where you can only prep so much. And that's why, like Dennis will know, I'm more of a try to knowledge prep, right? Prepare your mental health, prepare your mind readiness, that's what matters.
Being able to make
And
something
get off
from
the
nothing.
juice. Yeah, and get off the juice. And when I mean juice, I'm talking about the medication that people feed you that you think you need. Because when that becomes non-existent, you're going to go through withdrawals and be one of them crazy people, right? So now I'm not giving health advice. I guess that sounds like I'm giving health advice.
Don't be giving no health advice on this show.
That's just one of those preps you need to think about, right? Of like, all right, so if you're stuck on heart medication and you're on heart medication because you choose to not do things to make things better for you or fix them more naturally, right? You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
You might as well prep for a good time, not a long time.
I'm prepping the family for when I got to go off the mood enhancement stuff that the doctor got me on. They're going to have plenty to eat while I'm out in the woods getting through it, going cold turkey on it. Because right now, it's just necessary to keep me from going slap nuts. So y'all just pray for me down here in Alabama. Just being honest with you.
Yeah.
But
25 minutes of your podcast tonight or whatever, we all know why. You have a dog shitting behind you, running around. You have kids running around naked. You're trying to scream. Everyone else is screaming. Hey, bro, I get it.
An entire school bus coming through your front door.
Yeah, and we're going camping, mind you. I've got to manage.
Yeah, and you're going camping. 5
kids in the woods while my wife gets to come in here and sleep.
So, you're paying extra money to be homeless right now, willingly. You're that's just, I get it, bro.
I'm paying to be homeless. One of the things, like what you're saying, knowledge is going to be that one prep they can't take from you unless they knock you senseless and you can't think no more. But then that won't be a problem. You just die. But
basic instincts, though.
Yeah. And so a lot of what I'm trying to do is get people to understand, hey, if all you got's a junk pile in the middle of the woods, there's something there you can use. You can strip your car. Right. I'm not telling you go buy everything that I mean, not everybody can afford ReadyWise. Not everybody can put up beans and rice. Not everybody can buy animals. But there's one thing you can do. And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, get a quality freaking knife. So many people get junk knives. And I'm telling you, man, it's like, how much is your life worth? It's like with your firearms. Now, me and Riley may disagree on this. High Point will work, but I'm not going to let my life depend on a High Point unless I absolutely have to. I'm going to spend money on a Glock.
Why the hell would I disagree with you on that?
I don't know. You don't like no High Point.
I've seen some pretty rigorous testing with High Points, and I've seen High Points outperform Kimbers and SIGs.
I mean, in all reality,
listen, if there's a Second Amendment item around and nobody's using it, I'm going to grab it up no matter what
You're
it
right.
is. High Point, Taurus, Kimber, whatever.
I know you're not a fan of the High Points, though.
But I'm never going to go out and actively search out a High Point for personal use.
No. I'm going to tell you
it's not worth the money.
The only advantage to a High Point.
Yeah, I'll use it.
The only advantage to a High Point is it will survive a nuclear holocaust. Whether it'll fire or not, I don't know. It's so big, so clunky.
So will roaches.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say they're heavy and they don't got a lot of muzzle flips. So if you don't know how to fire a gun, you're going to feel like you got an incredible aim until you get a hold of another firearm that is probably a better gun. But we're just going to say that. And you can fry bacon on them when they get hot.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm that person who's like, go big or go home, right? Like
Yellow
I'm
Cake
a
says a
10 millimeter
nickname guy.
junkie. That's just what I like. I roll with 10 millimeters, right?
Oh,
Like
my
that's
Lord.
just that's my jam. It's
10
an everyday
millimeters.
carry. It's a what?
10 millimeter. That's so big.
I know, dude. It's great.
I know.
A45.
I got 45. I've had 357 Magnum. You know, I like a lot of knockdown power. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, if a person's fully geeked up on meth, you're not gonna take them down with a 9 millimeter unless you empty the mag and it's special ammo. 45, you put it in their hand, they're going down. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm not aiming for that.
I'm just saying if I shoot wild.
If somebody has body armor, I'm not aiming for center mass either.
No.
I'm aiming for thigh.
You're
Because even if I don't hit, your femoral or take out enough muscle or hit ligament and tendon where you can't even move your legs, I will do enough damage where you can't keep moving.
That's
Whether
the
or not
best
you
part of
bleed
the 10
out, right
millimeter.
then or there.
Yeah.
It literally
when you
like
bleed
reads
out,
to locate body parts.
Are you clean now? He's
you're not
clean,
going
y'all.
anywhere if you can't use your legs.
And he's got clothes on.
And who has body armor for their legs?
I'm going to have to find some just so I can say I do next time you ask that question. They make neck armor. Have y'all seen the neck?
You guys ever shot a 10 mil?
I've not shot a 10 mil. I've looked at buying one of the Glock 10 mils, but
those things are literally like nuclear, right? Like people think 45s are big and gnarly, and I mean, shoot a 10 millimeter and stuff relocates.
yeah. I mean, I
Are
believe
you speaking from experience?
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
You're supposed to deny it, idiot.
I mean, no, I don't deny nothing.
Supposed to say, no, I don't know.
Plausible deniability, man.
It's like I don't own guns, man. They fell in the river.
I mean, think about it. If the FBI said it's too powerful for them, it's right on point.
Yeah, do you believe things the FBI says? Come on.
I believe that because they had the Shorty Fortin Week made just because of it.
The 40.
And probably couldn't afford to actually mass produce it, so they just went with something cheaper because it's the government.
Hey, Beck, that's good to see you.
So here's the funny thing about that. The only thing different between those two is a 1/4 inch of brass. It still uses the same powder.
What was the cost to manufacture?
It's the same.
Always got to follow the money. Whoever is getting kickbacks, whoever is saving a penny, whoever is making a penny, that's what you got to look into every single time.
And that's the same thing. The reason we went from M14s to the M16. The M14 was a way better, like more powerful round. But then hey Chris Shannon, good to see you, but they sold the M16 so much. Oh, you can carry more ammo, you can do this, and it was all a political thing. Somebody was getting a kickback off of that. I mean, I like that round. That's a battle round I approve. But an M14, you don't need more.
Did you hear about the 40 round military war weapon Glock?
Oh yeah, that one was hilarious.
Now what are we talking about?
Bro, Joe Biden said there was a 40 round magazine, not even a clip, but a 40 round magazine.
He actually used magazine?
Yeah.
No, he just said a 40 round Glock, I believe.
40 round Glock.
No, he said war Glock.
He said it was a weapon of war.
For war. Yeah,
weapon of war.
It was a weapon of war.
It's a weapon of war.
It was a 40 round Glock that's a weapon of war.
Yeah, it is a weapon of war. Have you ever tried to?
Because they use stuff.
40 rounds?
The 40 round Glock, if there is such a thing. I mean, yeah, they usually have a civilian version, and the military uses practical things. I mean, it's like, what about...
The military is not going to carry around 40 round pistol, bro.
I know this. You know this, but Joe Biden, there's a lot of things that his whole administration don't know. But it's like, but this is the same argument. What about a war K-bar? I mean, should I not be able to own a K-bar because the military uses it? I mean, a war canteen. I can't own plastic canteens. war body armor, so I can't use body armor to keep myself from getting shot just because the military uses it. I mean, my lord, it's stupid.
Speaking of body armor, and to defer this to where we don't get bananas, have you seen that one guy who's trying to make body armor out of cast aluminum?
I didn't.
Yes.
What?
Seen
And
that.
the entire comment section is just like, okay, now test it.
Why is he doing that? Is that?
Guy keeps I don't know, but he thinks he's making progress. Like, I don't know if him and Luke are in cahoots.
Oh man, I know that was coming. I know that something that was going to come
Well,
up.
Luke had stitched him. He had stitched that video at one point, and he since deleted it, and I never got to see it. But I know I saw that thumbnail with the aluminum plate, and it was under the Prep Zone Rise, which of course I can't see now because I got blocked because.
So I've seen people.
Had a problem with him.
I've seen people take epoxy and ceramic, epoxy and plate metal, and make stuff that'll work. I've even seen people take phone books, and try to, and in some form make it work. But I mean, that's the scenario I don't want to test. I don't want to be, I don't want that to be what I depend on. I just.
Cast aluminum? Cast aluminum?
I've never heard of that. That's going to crack. I mean, it'll break. They don't got no, I don't know.
Dude, it'll shatter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, I guess maybe he's going off the.
Do you know what he did to make it flak jacketed? He took fine double-aught steel wool and what's that spray rubber stuff? That
Flex Seal?
No, the Plasti Dip, bro. And he put that on there, and he used that, and that was
JB Weld?
Absorb. No, Plasti Dip, that spray can, like original Flex Seal looking stuff. Almost.
Oh, I've never seen that.
And he's all that should collect all the shrapnel, and I'm sitting here going, this guy is gonna get people killed.
Well, I mean, and there's 100 million of them on this platform. Did you see the teenager or the college kid told everybody just to go to Bass Pro Shop? That's the ultimate place to go
right.
In a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, oh my gosh. Have y'all not watched the daggum Dawn of the Dead? They're in a mall. It's similar. I mean, yeah, they survived, but they were trapped. It'll be the same thing, except people with guns are coming to take what you got.
You just watched too much Zombieland.
Probably. I mean, and that's a lot of people's prepping knowledge. And that's why we do what we do, folks. If you're watching this, that's why we do what we do, because too many people are relying on novels and movies for what they're learning. And I think we all do that at the beginning, and then you realize, hey, this is not for real, We got to learn something that'll really keep us alive. So,
I mean, I really do pray that Luke has a time that falls upon him where he has to go and delete his most famous video because how stupid he looked and how false it was.
He's going to end up in a lawsuit before anything.
And that's my main concern for the guy. He's got a family. He's trying to make a go at this. And I don't want to see him end up in a lawsuit. That's why I put disclaimers on anything to do with fire, anything to do with foraging, because people can sue you for anything. It don't matter if they're right or not. And if they got enough money, they can hold you up in litigation until you can't afford to even make it anymore. It don't matter if they're right or not. So I don't know. It's just one of them things. Y'all, I'm gonna have to end this. We got to start getting ready to go, and these kids are starting to get restless. So, any closing thoughts, Riley? Since you're the guest on the show, the new guest.
So one of my big things, I've been doing like the inmate tips videos, because prison at its core is the most basic form of society that you can take away all these different freedoms and liberties, and people still figure out how to make different groups work, and they have their own economy, they work and all that shit. And I think that is something that we can all learn from as far as being prepared for what is coming, because we don't know what is going to happen. But if you can have the ability to figure out what you need to do based on what does happen. You know, you can buy all the preps in the world. You can build a giant bunker, all this shit. You can lose that all in a second. But if you know how to think and you're able to use that to get done what you need done, you will be able to make it through whatever shit does hit the fan.
So what are your thoughts on prison pizza?
That's what people... Pardon?
What are your thoughts on prison pizza?
You mean like
Prison nachos are better.
the actual food, or is this like a euphemism for
I'm just joking, but no, a friend of mine told me about prison pizza, and I didn't know if you'd heard of it. They make their own pizza. I can't remember what all they put on it, but he said they would find the biggest guy they could, put it in a garbage bag, and set it under him until it heated up and melted the cheese. And he was a prison guard, and I don't know if he was just messing with me, but he said it actually tasted pretty good.
With you.
That's what I figured. I figured he made it up.
They do love anything that goes on a tortilla, though.
Okay.
Those are big. When they can get tortillas from commissary, they start making wraps. They make these giant burritos. They go ham with anything on a tortilla. And tortillas are so easy to make, too. That's something that people should keep in mind. If you can make a tortilla, you can put some food together, and that's, food on the go as well.
Yeah, that's definitely. All right.
I mean, isn't there such thing as prison nachos?
I think I've heard that term, but can you elaborate? This will be your final thoughts before we end the multicast.
Me on prison nachos?
I'm not sure. I'm asking if you got that information.
Well, I mean, the prison nachos that I was taught to make outside of prison, obviously, but
we'll say you 7 American bacon, Captain.
With a trash bag, and you get all your potato chips. Everyone comes together for the greater good, right? And because you're literally living in a communist country at that point in time, but they come together, they bring their, any type of Fritos, Lays, whatever, ramen, seasoned packets, anything that they get and they store from buying in the commissary. And then they put it all together and put it in a trash bag and shake it up or whatever. And then they open up the trash bag and everyone just eats off of it like nachos.
Huh? I didn't know that. It's kind of like that 100-year soup. Just everything goes in, and they always keep a pot on the back of the stove for hard times. Prison nachos, my friends. That might be the next big survival food that we have to look at. Anything
There's
else?
A lot of knowledge inside of prison that can be learned from.
And
people like to just forget that exists, but there's a lot to learn from that.
The whole gum thing, the whole gum wrapper and the battery, using that for a cigarette lighter, that's a genius thing, that to come up with.
So typically what we see now is people will take a blade from a razor, either they're electric razors or, just like the little bits, and they'll use one of those razor blades, and they will tape that to one side of the 2 batteries, and they'll usually get some piece of cardboard to wrap around to hold them together, and then any other piece of metal over the top.
Okay. So, I mean, but that's still...
set down.
You can find old batteries in backs of drawers and little pieces of paper clip metal anywhere, so that's, anywhere in America. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. I'm going to go ahead and end with the prayer. If you feel comfortable staying in, you can. If you don't, you don't. To those of you that may not believe in prayer, but I will end it here with prayer. I'm going to pray for everybody. And then we're going to end the multi-stream, multicast, whatever you want to call this thing. It's chaos cast, because it's y'all can tell. This is literal chaos here sometimes. Dogs pooping in the floor, kids running around naked. I have to tell them can't get on camera. They get me. We don't know what's happening here. Y'all just pray for us down here in Alabama. I always ask that, and I pray for you. So, dear Heavenly Father, dear Heavenly Father, I pray, God, that you just move in everybody's life, set protection down on everybody that is in here. Help them come to knowledge of how to take care of themselves, to be more self-reliant, to be prepared for situations. And I pray that you guide them to the right people. You see those that need to be heard, you help them be heard. You see those that don't need to be heard, I pray you help limit their voice if they don't need to be getting that out there, God. I pray also those that are being constricted in their content by shadow bans, mass reports, just devious activity. I pray right now in the name of Jesus that you bind that and you help people to get that message out there. I pray you put your hand on this stuff that's going on over in Ukraine. You put your hand over our country with the things that are happening, and you put your hand over every single person, Lord God, that is in this country and in this world, and also those that have been involved with this Chaos Cast and our different videos and our different live streams. Just help us to get that message out. In Jesus' name, we all pray. They said, amen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop Prepper Nation and Riley down. I'm going to do some shameless spills and advertisement. You can hang out. You can buy some stuff. You can say, no, I don't want that. It's up to you. We'll see y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. All right, as you know, so we're going to be eating this tonight when we camp. We're going to get a fire going. We're going to set up hammocks. We're going to set up tents. And, all right, you work something out. All right, but we got these meals from ReadyWise. I like them. Prepper Nation says that they're just basically McDonald's of food. We'll let him have his opinion. I'll have mine, but they're always going to be good for up to 25 years. You can put the water. These are actually not they don't have that much longevity. These are for camping. These are adventure meals. And you can add boiling water and let them set, and then you can eat it out of the bag directly. So that's the good thing about their adventure meals. They also sell buckets of prep food you can put up for a long time. And we have a discount code for you that you can make money on. That you can save money on your product, and we can make money to keep doing what we're doing. So we're going to look at the discount code. You can go to ReadyWise.com and use discount code E29, TEN, E2910, and that supports what we're doing here. That helps us keep getting message out, giving good information, and teaching folks. So also, Olight. If you are in the mood for an Olight Baton 3 or an old pen, they're great lights. They're waterproof. You can watch the videos where I've thrown them in jars running, and this is still working as long as it's charged. That's how bright it is. I blinded y'all. I apologize. Hopefully, oh gosh, I just blinded myself. But yeah, that is a good product to have. I'm seeing spots right now. It's a bright light, very small light, can clip on your hat. You can wear it as your general EDC. This can be a part of your general EDC where you can always have some way of riding, self-defense, laser pointer. See if there's a laser pointer. And quick little light. So you go check them out. We got a discount code for that. You save 10%. We get 10%. May trouble never find you, your family and friends' doorsteps. Thank you, Air 7 America Captain. But yes, discount code DB29 at Olight.com can save you money on these flashlights and different equipment that they sell. Also, if you go to Edge 29 Chaos Preparedness, we have different affiliate links where you can buy gear to be prepared for your hiking, for your camping, for different things that you're doing outdoors. You can be prepared for any situation. And go to edge29chaos.com. And if you click any of the banners to different sites, you can help us by, when you click, we get a certain percentage. If you buy something, we get another percentage, even more. So that's up to you. There's good stuff there. I've bought things from a lot of these sites, or I've had products that they sell on these sites. Good folks, Instafire, Grim Workshop, Optics Planet, Vipertech knives, got a lot of good name brands of knives, as well as their OTF out the front blades. And also, share a sale. If you are a content creator and you're looking to monetize yourself, which I highly suggest you monetize yourself instead of trying to monetize through the apps, because it's at their behest to take some of that money. Monetizing yourself through things like share a sale ensures you get a little more, and you're not even having to carry a product. Yes, Optics Planet, and I bought things from them. I've got good stuff from them. I think they even have Shamogs, which I didn't get this from them. I was testing another site that I was going to use. But also, if you want to monetize yourself, you can go apply to share a sale. I highly suggest you create a website, because that makes it look more professional. And then you apply to share a sale through our link. That'll help us. That'll help you. And that's our spiel for the day. I thank you all for coming to the Chaos Cast that have been here. I hope you come back next time. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, through Haps, if your comments were not answered, I'll try to answer them after the stream. We love y'all. We're praying for y'all. We want to help y'all. Go watch some of the videos and we'll do our best to help you. Y'all take it easy.